Hello and welcome to the 2022 Premier Collegiate League All-Star Game. Thank you so much for joining us on the Edenton Steamers YouTube channel tonight, where it's a battle between the North All-Stars and the South All-Stars. The Steamers and the River Bandits making up the South team, and the Virginia Beach Sea Dogs, Greenbrier Knights, Norfolk Redbirds, and Suffolk Voyagers making up the North All-Stars. Once again, thank you so much for joining us for whatever team you're a fan of. I'm Luke Milai. Tonight, I'll be your voice through this game, and we'll have plenty of other voices on the broadcast tonight. The first in this first inning being Edenton Steamer Jared Beebe. Jared, thank you so much for joining me.
What's going on, Luke? Thank you for having me.
Jared, it's going to be a lot of fun tonight. A lot of different guys we're going to see. We got a lineup going for the first 5 innings. Then for the 6th through the 9th innings, we'll have another lineup for both sides. How do you think guys are going to adjust to that?
I think guys will be all right. I mean, I'm sure a lot of these guys have played in All-Star games beforehand, and I think they'll be used to it.
Yeah, and how about yourself? You're a guy that you have All-Star game experience?
I do. I played in a couple of All-Star games before, and it's kind of the same situation as this, where you play the first half of the game, and you just get to watch the boys go at it in the second half.
Well, you get to watch a lot of your guys go at it tonight. The Steamers with 15 All-Stars, the most of any team in the Premier Collegiate League. One of those guys on the mound right now, Cole Bates, will be starting things off on the mound for Edenton and the South All-Stars. He's throwing to an opposing player, Chase Heath. Does that ever get weird playing with guys from other teams, or is that a cool thing?
It's real cool. You get to meet new guys from different places and everything. It's a nice way to build relationships, really.
Heath, he's hit the Steamers well this season, but now he's on the Steamers side. And for the North, they're going to have a couple of different guys going tonight, about 7 different pitchers for them. For the South, they have a new guy in all 9 innings, and we're just about ready to get underway here in Edenton. Trey Keels from the Virginia Beach Sea Dogs will lead things off against Cole Bates, and it looks like he's got a camera right at the top of his helmet. Jared, I know you got some experience with that yesterday.
Yeah, last night in the home run derby, that was a great time getting back there and catching.
Catching with the GoPro on the helmet as Jeremiah Boyd was swinging away. Cameron Bassnight showed me today. It was very, very cool stuff on that camera. First pitch of the night is a cross for a called strike to Keels from Cole Bates. Bates, again, the reliever from the Edenton Steamers this season, has thrown 16 innings, a 1.13 ERA. It's his first time starting this season. That one's a bit high to Keels, 1-1. Now, Jared, you do some pitching yourself, too. What do you think you'd rather do? Would you rather start in an all-star game, or would you rather come out of the pen and kind of see how the game develops?
Personally, I mean, I'd rather be off the bat. But from a pitching aspect, I feel like it would be real cool to start the game and just be able to set a tone.
Yeah, I feel like it's usually a pretty big honor as well when you're the guy that gets to start in these all-star games. And Cole Bates certainly deserving of that honor here as one of the best pitchers in the PCL. Keels swings and misses at the 2-1. Count evens up 2-2. Keels once again, the center fielder through the first 5 innings tonight from the Virginia Beach Sea Dogs and the North All-Star team lineup. As you said, trying to set the tone here offensively for the North team, and now he'll call for time. It's the first All-Star game here in Edenton since 2020. Last season, the All-Star game was in Tarboro, hosted by the River Bandits, so we get back here in Edenton in 2022. Swing and a miss. Cole Bates strikes out Keels to start off the night. Doesn't look like it's a lot of fun hitting against Cole Bates.
No, he has a lot of velo on that fastball of his.
And we've seen there's a lot of good relievers in this league, obviously including Cole Bates, but I think when you look at Tarboro as well, they got 4 or 5 guys they can rip out of the pen every night, and they usually do a pretty good job.
Oh, certainly.
As Max Lucas up at the plate now from the Greenbrier Knights hitting for the North All-Stars. He checks his swing behind the count 0-1 to Bates. Cole Bates thrown 16 innings on the mound for the Steamers this season, getting his first All-Star game inning in the Steamers uniform as that one's fouled back, 0-2 the count. So, Jared, what do you think of the view from up here? You got It's a bit higher, but it's a bit further away. So what's your takes from it?
I still like it. I mean, you can see the whole field a lot clearer, which is really nice.
Especially when you open up these windows, you get rid of the glare, and left field gets a bit tough, and whenever they hit it in the air, that's always my toughest piece, is that one's a bit outside. Because then it gets over this grandstand right here, and then I just got to watch the fielders. That's 2-2, 1-2 the count between Lucas and Bates. Swing and a miss. Cole Bates, back-to-back strikeouts to open up the All-Star game. And there's 2 outs here in the first.
That's a South Beach 2 strikeout, bringing your Steamers tickets to the South Beach.
So it looks like we'll have a similar amount of guys out there for each side at the same time. 5 Steamers out there defensively, 4 River Bandits. I think it'll be the same when we switch in the 6th inning. So you mentioned it, that's usually the type of thing you see in these All-Star games, as Phil Forbes is up to the plate. That's a cross for a called strike, 0-1. Do you know Phil Forbes' nickname?
I did not.
It's P5. He's Phil the 5th. His grandfather's the coach. That's P3. Phil the 3rd. It's a little family bias between them. I went up to them the first time we were playing the Voyagers. I asked Coach Forbes, I said, we haven't seen your team yet this year. Who do you think is the best? He's like, oh, Phil Forbes. And I was like, I didn't get it at first. He's like, yeah, it's my grandson. And I was like, that's not biased. The 0-2 pitch, called strike 3. Cole Bates strikes out the side here in the top of the first inning. We'll head to the home half of inning number 1 in the 2022 All-Star game. The South team coming to the plate. Hello and welcome back to the 2022 Premier Collegiate League All-Star Game, as we're set to begin the bottom half of the first here at historic Hicks Field. Cole Bates struck out the side in the top half of the first. I'm Luke Mealy alongside Edenton Steamer Jared Beebe. Jared, welcome back. And did you expect anything different from your teammate in that first inning?
I did not, and that's what he's done all year consistently, just striking out guys like it's his job.
One of the most reliable guys in that Steamers bullpen. James Moses leading off for the River Bandits. He'll lay down a bunt. And he's got a bunt single to start this game. James Moses in that South lineup leading things off. Is Moses a guy you think you got to watch out for the bunt when he comes up to the plate?
Certainly, especially as a corner infielder. You gotta always play up on him. He's always going to lay it down, and he's got good speed to beat it out.
And it seems like with a couple of head coaches in that South dugout, Grant Crosby for the Tarboro River Bandits and Justin Hill for the Steamers, looks like Crosby got his guy at the leadoff spot as opposed to Chase Bruno, who had been the leadoff man for most of the season for the Steamers as he fouls the first pitch back. Chase Bruno earlier this season set the Steamers' all-time record for a hit streak, 21 consecutive games, breaking Joey Wendell's record of 19 straight games. He's got a hit in all but 2 games this season for the Steamers.
He's been a great guy to play with this year. Real good player to play with and real fun guy to watch.
And I think something that sticks out to me a lot is I knew his numbers coming in were pretty good offensively, but I think he might be the best fielder I've seen in a long time at this level.
Oh, most definitely. Bruno he's real solid in the field, always reliable.
He makes it look so smooth, too. It doesn't look like he's giving effort.
He does. It's fun to watch.
Yeah. Hey, you got a much better view of it from me. When you're at third base, you take a peek over to your left, and there's Chase Bruno charging in on a ground ball. As the count is 1-1 now to Chase Bruno with James Moses over at first. He'll swing and miss. Moses takes off. I don't think Bailey realized it at first, and James Moses swipes a bag here in the first. Little small ball here in the All-Star game. Get him over and maybe ground ball to the right side, get him to third. And
a nice little sack fly. Bring him home.
That's what the All-Star game's all about, right? No highlights, just real firm baseball. Count 1-2 to Bruno. Swing and a miss. Ramos strikes out Chase Bruno for his first out of the opening inning. That'll bring Chase Heath up to the plate, the catcher from the Tarboro River Bandits. Now, Jared, you faced Ramos a bit earlier this season when he started here and pitched against the Steamers. What can you tell me about him, and what's it like facing him?
He's a solid pitcher. He's got good velo on his fastball. And his breaker's pretty good, too. But he threw a really good game against us. I think we barely came out with a win, 2-0 against them.
That's Heath, a big swing and a miss on the first pitch he saw.
He's been doing that to us all year.
Yeah. Chase Heath has, I believe, 4 home runs against the Steamers out of his 6 this season. But, still a lot of time left. You've also seen him a whole lot, 9 matchups between the Steamers and the River Bandits. You'd think that would form some sort of a rivalry, and now you're out in the same dugout tonight.
I know. It's been real chaotic games between the two of us. But I think it's good. I think the guys I think it's just a thing when it's on the field that things get heated. But besides that, I think everyone's cool.
Oh, for sure. Especially with that guy in the on-deck circle right now, Jarrett May, another New Jersey connection. You were telling me he got you some pork roll the other day.
He did. Sadly, the game got canceled, but hopefully he gets me some later on in the year.
You know what I've learned since being down here? I don't think a lot of people know what pork roll is.
They don't, and they're missing out big time.
That's 1-1 the count to Chase Heath, the catcher for the Tarboro River Bandits, with James Moses down at second. That one's a bit inside. 2-1 now the count. So a good chunk of River Bandits at the top of this order. 4 of the first 6 hitters are from Tarboro, and I guess when your coach is the one with the team with the best record in the league, you probably get more of a say on the lineup going into the All-Star game.
Definitely.
But both coaches in that dugout tonight. 2-1 is a called strike. 2-2 the count. Haven't had a lot of balls put in play. Moses' bunt was the only ball we saw get out of the batter's box.
I was expecting a lot more in the beginning of the game.
A lot of firepower on both sides, but again, obviously some great pitching on both sides as well. 2-2 the count now to Chase Heath. Moses takes off for third as Heath will foul that one straight back. We'll do it again at 2-2. How do you like the idea of the North versus the South? That's 4 teams over there making up an all-star team, and now only 2 over here on this side, but still a pretty good matchup.
I think it's a great matchup. I think it's kind of crazy, though, that it's just 2 teams versus 4.
See, the odds are not in your guys' favor, but you guys are the top 2 teams in the league, so it kind of filters back.
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
Create a bit of a rivalry as Moses is dancing off of second. He'll hang there as Heath lines that one back towards center, and a diving drop by Keels. He nearly got it out of the air. So that'll put runners at first and second with 1 out here in the first. And the man that no opposing pitcher wants to face already, and now with men on base, Jarrett May coming up to the plate. The league leader with 13 home runs. Participated.
Yeah, definitely not a guy you want to see up there with guys on base.
Sometimes you'll just accept a long solo home run. Those count as just one, no matter how far they go. But with two guys on, it's a dangerous situation for Ramos here in the first. May will take up high. Want to know the count. So Carter Hill, the broadcaster for the River Bandits, was here with me last night, and he was mentioning to me and Hayden Bandel, the other announcer in the PCL, that May has as many home runs as 3 of the Virginia teams combined.
Jeez.
He swings and misses at that one, 1-1 the count. We've certainly seen a few of those against the Steamers. I think the last 3 home runs he's hit against us, each time it was the longest home run I've seen.
They just keep getting further and further.
Had one off the top of the tree behind the scoreboard in left field in Tarboro a couple of days ago. But now they're all on the same side for tonight as Ramos works from the stretch trying to get out of a first inning jam. That one's across for a called strike, 1-2. Drew Ramos getting the start here for the North. One of 6 pitchers they'll use tonight. That one's foul tip, caught by Bailey, and Ramos strikes out Jarrett May for out number 2.
That's a big strikeout right there for Ramos.
That's a big-time strikeout. And now we'll see if Nate Paulson can pay things off. The outfielder for the Edenton Steamers playing in left field tonight. Has played in center all season for Edenton, but with James Moses in the lineup as well, he got the nod in center. So Nate going to try and pay things off for Team South and put him ahead here early. He'll line that one back through the middle for a base hit. They're going to send Moses home. Here's the throw from Keels. It is not in time. Moses slid in under Bailey, and the South takes a 1-0 lead.
That's classic for Paulson right there. He's been doing that all year.
Nate Paulson, no surprise, an RBI single, and that was a pretty good throw from Keels. It was right on the money.
That was a great throw.
But with the speed of Moses, a good secondary lead, he was off to the races. So it's the South out ahead 1-0 here in the first inning as they're going to keep trying to add on. Liam McFadden-Ackman up to the plate now from Tarboro for the South team. He'll check his swing, foul that one back, 0-1 the count. So, Jared, what are your plans for the rest of the night after you get off with me after this inning?
I'm just going to sit and relax and watch some good baseball tonight.
Now, what's your angle? You're coming up, you staying up here, you going around? What's your angle?
I don't know. We'll see where the night takes us.
So we'll have another guest on in inning number 2. Assistant coach from the Edenton Steamers, Ashton Roy, will join the broadcast. So that one's on the outside corner, a called strike, 0-2. McFadden-Ackman getting the start over at first base defensively for Team South. One of 14 Tarboro River Bandit All-Stars. Steamers once again sent 15 guys out there. A lot of pressure building up with this 0-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Ramos gets his third strikeout of the inning. And that'll wrap up the first inning here at Historic Hicks Field. The South All-Stars lead it 1-0 as we head to inning number 2. Jared Beebe, once again, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Right, thank you, Luke. I had a great time.
We'll be right back here with the 2022 PCL All-Star Game. Hello and welcome back to the 2022 Premier Collegiate League All-Star Game here at historic Hicks Field. The South team got out to a 1-0 lead thanks to an RBI single from Nate Paulson. I'm Luke Mealy once again, and I've got a new guest here in inning number 2, Ashton Roy, assistant coach for the Edenton Steamers. Ashton, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Luke. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. It's a lot of fun the last couple of nights with the home run derby last night and Jeremiah Boyd winning it, and now the All-Star Game tonight. It's a great couple of days, and then a day off tomorrow.
Yes, this has been awesome, man. I'm glad we get to host this. Kids have been awesome, man. Love being around these teams. Don't get to know these guys too well, but it's awesome seeing them around here, man.
Yeah, and I asked Jared Beebe was on in the first inning, and is it weird at all being in the same dugout with the Tarboro River Bandits, the team you guys have played 9 times already this season?
A little bit, yeah, but, it's baseball, man. It's just guys being dudes out there, and, everyone's chopping it up, getting along out there, man. It's great. It's great.
So we're set to begin the second inning here at historic Hicks Field. Jay Bullock on the mound now for the River Bandits, picking up the second inning after Cole Bates struck out the side in inning number 1. It'll be Warren Bailey from the Greenbrier Knights leading things off for the North. He'll foul the first pitch back, 0-1.
This kid here, 28, man, he throws well, man. He's shut us down a couple times, to be real honest. He's a great pitcher, man.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of him. We've seen a lot of these Tarboro relievers up to this point in the season. He's just another one of those guys that's locked down as that one's down low. And something I think I've noticed, I don't know if you've seen it with Jay in particular, I feel like every time he throws against the Steamers, his hat is always falling off. Have you noticed that?
Off. Yeah, always falling off. I believe it's, maybe some torque. Loves to get some torque on that fastball.
Yeah.
Really throws it, man.
As Bailey chops one fouled on the third base side, 1-2. So the North team's still looking to put a ball in fair territory tonight. Warren Bailey trying to be the guy to start things off for them. The second Greenbrier Knights a hit in the lineup so far. Roy, do you have a favorite player out here from the Virginia teams, maybe in terms of guys you like to watch or guys that stick out to you when you think of an all-star from the North team?
I like this kid here. He's not bad. And that leadoff guy, committed to West Virginia, he's a high schooler there. I think he's a really good player, man. He's ripped the cover off the ball every time we've played him.
And Bailey pops out over there to shortstop. It's caught by Chase Bruno for out number 1 here in the second. That'll bring Trey Blow up to the plate from the Suffolk Voyagers. Blow getting the start over at third base.
What about you, Luke? Who do you like on these Virginia teams?
I mean, one of the guys I like, Sammy Cannella, he's coming up next. He hit a home run here at historic Hicks Field earlier in the season. There's a lot of good hitters, I think. And I know these are the teams that are towards the bottom part of the standings, but I do think when you put their best players on the field against Edenton and Tarboro's best, I think you should get a pretty competitive game, especially pitching-wise. I think there are some really good pitchers, especially on the Knights.
I agree. I totally agree, man. They got some talent on that side.
A lot of different colors over there, and I was saying to Jared, is it interesting or weird at all that there's 4 all-star teams over there and 2 on this third base side dugout with the Steamers and the River Bandits? That one's poked out into right for the first hit of the night for the North All-Stars. Trey Blow goes the other way.
Good piece of hitting right there, to be honest.
We'll see if the North can try and work their way back and tie this thing up, and Sammy Cannella will now come up to the plate from the Virginia Beach Sea Dogs.
Sammy Cannella.
Cannella getting the start in right field for the North tonight.
I wouldn't mind a little ground ball double play right now.
With a nice little duo there up the middle, too, with Bruno and Stevens.
The boys, man, the boys. Two great middle infielders, man. Got good attitudes, those 2 kids, man. I like watching them play.
Mm-hmm.
They like to work, man.
And were you at second base, right?
Yes. I played second base my whole career.
Now, how would you like having a partner like Chase Bruno out there when you're trying to turn 2? It feels like he's one of the more smooth defenders that I've seen.
Yes, man. I wasn't that great at second base, man. If I had a guy like him, dude, just give the ball to him on double plays, and he'll turn everything. He'll turn absolutely everything with a guy with hands like that.
Strictly hitting for you?
Yeah, that was my forte. I live off the bat. Well, not the greatest defender. When he's going, throw him out.
That one's taken inside. Throw down to second is not in time. As Trey Blow steals a bag to put himself in scoring position. The count's now 3-0 to Canella. Do you think you have a better chance of getting the green light here in the All-Star game when it's 3-0?
Yes, yeah, green light only. That's my forte. I'm going to coach a little bit of third base towards the back end of this game, and I'm probably just going to send everybody, man. I ain't holding up anybody.
Plays at the plate.
That's it, man. That was a great play, that last inning. That center fielder didn't double clutch that. Moses is probably out.
Yeah, it was a perfect throw, but just took a bit too long getting in as Canella works a 4-pitch walk. And the North team has 2 aboard and just 1 out here in the second. So you're going to coach third later in this game. You've coached first a bit this season.
Yes.
It's going to be an adjustment.
Me and Delton Stallings made a switch one game. We were getting no hit, and I was like, hey, man, let's switch it up real quick. And Jeremiah Boyd ended up opening the gates, and I think he hit a 2 or 3 run home run. We ended up winning the game. So I've been stuck over at first base, and Hill's got the reins at third.
Coach Hill down there in the dugout tonight with Tarborough's head coach, Grant Crosby, as Trey Wright coming to the plate from the Norfolk Redbirds. Starting over at first base tonight for the North. The 0-1 pitch is chopped over the head of Bullock. Going to be a tough play. Bruno tries to barehand from short. And everybody's safe. The bases are loaded for the North All-Stars here in the second.
Tough play right there for Bruins.
I know. I think I jinxed him. I think
so.
I have a knack for that on these broadcasts.
You do. Look, I think it starts with the broadcasting.
It starts with you, Roy. It starts
with me, man. I've seen Bruno make that play a handful of times. I'm surprised he didn't come up with it.
Yeah, it's. I don't think I've seen him boot more than 1 ball this season. I think he's got almost all of them.
No. That's a tough play, though. No error for him. That's good.
Rylan Brown grounds 1 to short, could be 2. Flips to second for 1. Stevens' turn to first is in time. It's dug out at first by McFadden Ackman to keep the North team off the board. A nice piece of defense from the South All-Stars here in the second. We'll head to the home half of inning number 2 at historic Hicks Field with the South 1, the North nothing. Hello and welcome back to the 2022 Premier Collegiate League All-Star Game here at historic Hicks Field. Thank you so much for joining us on the Edenton Steamers YouTube channel. I'm Luke Milai alongside Steamers assistant coach Ashton Roy for the bottom half of inning number 2. Bryce Stevens from the Edenton Steamers will lead things off for the South, and he'll swing and miss at the first pitch of the inning from Ramos, 0-1.
That was a great turn that last inning to get us out of that little jam. that was nice. And Stevens on the back end there, quick hands. I like that.
Let's see if he can keep the momentum going here at the plate. 1-1 the count. He's going up against Drew Ramos again. It's Ramos, the first pitcher to pitch multiple innings in this game, as the North has rotated through guys. Cole Bates pitching the first inning. Jay Bullock pitching inning number 2.
I feel like the North doesn't want to lose this game. To be honest, I'm going to ride this guy. If I'm the head coach, I'm going to ride this guy.
Who cares how many all-star pitchers we have? We're throwing everybody out tonight.
Yeah, we're going Johnny Holstaff, man.
Counts now 2-2, and I feel like with Bryce at the plate, you see a lot of long at-bats from him.
Every AB, man, is 7-8 pitches, man. Every game he's got a walk. He's a great leadoff hitter for us. He was in the 2-hole for a bit, and we switched everything up, and it's been solid, man. I like him where he is now.
So that
Swings
one's
hard,
out.
too, man.
That one's outside. Bryce Stevens, 3rd in the league in quality at-bats.
Q's only, man. That's what our team's about, man. Q's only.
He's got a full count here to lead off the second. Called strike 3. I don't think Stevens quite agreed with the call. It's out number 1. It's the 4th strikeout of the game for Ramos.
Right fielder from Bucknell, Tyler.
That'll bring Tyler Dunn up to the plate from the Tarboro River Bandits, getting the start out in right field tonight to start the first 5 innings for the South.
This kid's played well for them, for Tarboro.
Grounds that one just foul down the first base line, 0-1. Yeah, we haven't seen him in every game, but when he does play, he usually produces.
Yes, he can do damage out front. I think he might have a home run or 2 off us. That's my prediction, but I like watching him play. There's a lot of pull side stuff.
Righty on lefty matchup here with Ramos, and he'll foul that one straight back, 0-2. Now, Ashton, did you get to play in a lot of All-Star games growing up? Were you?
I played in one. I played in one back in 2018. I was a second base All-Star back in Canada in the WCBL. Man, it was an awesome time, man. But the only terrible part about that game was I faced all lefties.
Man.
And I think I had an E, too. I had an E at second. I had a ball blasted at me. I had an E and faced all lefties. It was awful.
Well, they don't remember the stats from the All-Star game. Unless you're the All-Star game MVP,
Exactly.
they'll remember the stats. But otherwise, that's out the window. No one remembers that.
Yes. That All-Star game was at Remax Park out in Edmonton, man. There was about, 10,000 people. It was crazy.
Wow.
Crazy. It was a cool atmosphere, man. One of my favorite times.
A good atmosphere here at Historic Hicks Field tonight. Seems like almost a full house.
Yeah, this place is jammed, man. Standing room only, it looks like.
As Alden Cottle up to the plate now for the South All-Stars, fouls that one right into the dugout of the North. Maybe a little message he's trying to send there.
Maybe.
Against Drew Ramos with 5 strikeouts on the mound tonight after striking out Tyler Dunn in the last at-bat. The 1-1. Taken for a called strike at the knees, 1-2.
Good pitch. Pitcher's pitch right there. You got to tip the cap to that one.
He can spot the ball really well, this guy.
No, this guy's throwing well. I heard Law was telling me that this guy's been up to like 96, so he's got a little juice to that fastball.
Slow chopper to the left side. Alden Cottle's going to beat that one out. No throw from Blow over at third. It's an infield hit for Alden Cottle. He's at first with 2 outs in the second.
My boy Chesson out there, look at him grinding, picking up those bats, giving the balls to the umpire. It starts with everybody, man. Everybody's bought in today, man.
Everybody plays a role, and he's certainly one of those guys that plays an integral role for the Edenton Steamers.
Yes, big part of it, man. This guy here, Moses, I'm telling you can't get this guy out.
He is a tough out for sure, always at the top of that order for the River Bandits.
Yeah. He's not gonna do crazy with the juice, but he's gonna find holes. He's gonna hit balls hard. He's gonna hit balls through guys. It's tough out, man.
Yeah, I mean, led off the All-Star game with a bunt single. I feel like you don't see too much of that.
I knew that was coming.
That's what Jarrett said. Jarrett said, watch for the bunt, and then he laid one right down the third base side.
Yep, saw that coming, man. Then the delayed steal. I like watching that kid play, man.
Trey Blow over at third from the Voyagers. He was near that infield grass. Now he backs up. He's about even with the bag, so Who knows? Maybe he'll just try and get as many bunt singles as he can tonight.
Yeah. I mean, why not? At this rate, going for the All-Star MVP.
Exactly.
He's got my vote.
The 0-1 is outside, 1-1. I guess Nate Paulson is in the lead, technically, right, for the All-Star MVP with the RBI single?
Yeah, him too. You know, that's why I like May and Paulson back-to-back. They got to protect each other.
The 1-1.
Great take. Another great take. Guy's got a good set of eyes on him. 2-9, I'm telling you. Tough out, man. You really got to go at him.
He's the perfect guy for the top of the order. Can do whatever you need him to do, and he'll get on base.
He's like a little Swiss Army knife out there, man. You know, lunch pail guy.
Ramos is ready with the count 2-1. The pitch.
Another great take.
Just a bit outside.
Guy's got a set of peepers on like no other. 2020, it's all around 2020 vision, dude. Unreal stuff.
Moses trying to keep the line moving here in the second with Chase Bruno on deck.
That's another guy you don't want to face, man.
Nope. These guys, they want to get as many at-bats as they can because they got half this game, so you got to get all the at-bats in early.
Yep.
3-1's up high, ball 4.
Great take.
Moses works a 5-pitch walk. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. It's the second time he's reached tonight. Chase Bruno coming up to the plate now from the Edenton Steamers. It's his second at-bat of the night. Struck out swinging in his first at-bat. Leads the Steamers in hits this season, second on the team in RBIs. The guy you want at the plate with men on base.
I agree, man. I agree.
He'll foul that one straight back, 0-1. And we saw a couple of games ago, Bruno has now been switched to the second spot in the lineup. I think that's the key. You want guys on base when he's coming up.
When he's up, man. You know, he's going to put the ball in play, and it's usually going to be, you know, in a gap somewhere hard, man. Look at that right side. Right side's open. I wouldn't doubt it if he punches something that way and Cottle scores, man.
Big hole in that right side with Max Lucas watching over at second. Here's a grounder over to short. Bonnie will flip to second for the final out of the inning. That'll do it for the first 2 innings here at Historic Hicks Field. Once again, thank you, Ashton Roy.
Thank you so much for having me, Luke. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you for joining me, and we will take a short break. We'll be right back with the third inning in the 2022 PCL All-Star Game. Hello and welcome back to the 2022 Premier Collegiate League All-Star Game here at Historic Hicks Field in Edenton, North Carolina. South All-Stars ahead 1-0. I'm Luke Milai, and I've got a new guest here for the third inning, Hayden Bandel, the announcer for the 4 teams from Virginia in the PCL. Hayden, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me on again, Luke. I appreciate it.
After the home run derby, we were here last night. His first pitch is hit high into the air out towards right field. Bryce Stevens back from second to make the catch for out number 1. Chris Morris on the mound now for the South All-Stars from the Edenton Steamers, one of the most reliable relievers on the team, as we're back to the top of the order for the North. Trey Keels back up to the plate.
Yeah, Keels, Luke, he has so much speed. He's only played 7 games this season for the Sea Dogs, but he has 12 steals.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
It's almost 2 a game. I'm not a math major. As Keels takes inside, and you see he's got the little
He's still got the
camera his
GoPro
helmet.
on,
Yeah.
yep.
He struck out swinging his first time up against Cole Bates, trying to let that GoPro see the ball go into the field. Morris gets a foul tip. 1-1 the count.
Keels is one of the top prospects ever that's being recruited by West Virginia, where he's going to go play his ball in the spring this upcoming season.
See, that's why you're here, Hayden. You give all the perspective on these guys.
Yes.
Me here in Edenton or Carter Hill, the announcer over in Tarboro, we might not have that same perspective, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, first we had BB and then Ashton Roy, the assistant coach, and now I'm the first non-player / coach.
I know. I don't have connections to any more Steamers, so I need you to bring us a little bit further along. 2-2 the count now to Keels against Chris Morris.
I mean, maybe there's a chance I can go coach first base for the North Side. I know our buddy Ray Dunn, he coached first base last year in the All-Star game in Tarboro.
Yes, I guess they weren't as welcoming to have other announcers on the broadcast last season as Keels works a full count walk to put a man over at
If
first.
you want, you could coach third, too.
You know, we might as well. I'll go down there. We'll have Roy come up here, take the rest of the way, and
Yeah,
we'll go out on the.
He said he's just going to send everyone, so it can't be too hard for us.
Is that all it takes to be a third base coach?
I guess so.
Max Lucas now up to the plate from the Greenbrier Knights. With a man over at first.
Max has been swinging a hot bat lately.
He'll take inside. He also struck out his first time up against Cole Bates.
He's one of 2 lefties in the starting lineup. Each team has 2 lefties in the starting lineup.
That one's a bit outside from Morris, 2-0. And Hayden, you mentioned he's swinging a hot bat. He's 4th in the PCL and batting average at .410.
Yeah, in his last 7 at-bats, he has 5 hits, including an extra base hit.
Keels will take off as that one's fouled away by Lucas. Keels will have to head back. That was probably a real good shot on the GoPro.
Yeah, with the GoPro, I was just going to say, he didn't need to slide. I think he wanted that just for the highlight clip.
I guess you're going to be the one that gets to see that, right?
I would hope so, yeah. If you can get that over to me.
Get that out on social media sometime in the next couple of days.
We've seen a lot of guys try to steal bases already early on.
They want to win, and Keels is off again.
Yeah,
that
there
one's
it
in the
goes.
dirt. And the throw from Heath is a bit off the bag. Trey Keels steals his first base of the night.
Speed is something that you just can't teach, and he's got a lot of it, but he's also very smart, too. He has a high baseball IQ. There was a game in Lakewood Park this year where the catcher was just lobbing it back to the pitcher a couple times, and so Keels noticed that, and then the very next time, he just stole home.
Man, you don't see a lot of that anymore.
No.
Not much stealing home, especially here in the PCL. Lucas with a full count against Chris Morris. With a runner out in scoring position, 1 out in the 3rd. And the Dramatics come to a screeching halt. Let's see, around the outfield, you got Nate Paulson in left, Tyler Dunn in right, James Moses in center. I'm not sure about the arms of those guys. They're all playing pretty deep as well. And Keels takes off for 3rd, and that one is a bit low. Heath couldn't quite hang on. Keels will steal 3rd.
He's going to have some nice clips on that GoPro. He had that diving catch, or that he dropped out in center. But he's got some nice shots on there.
Max Lucas works a walk. Runners at the corners for the North All-Stars. They loaded up the bases back in the 2nd, but a ground ball double play ended that threat. It's now Phil Forbes up to the plate. Now taking off is Lucas, and no throw down from Heath. It's a called strike into Forbes, but he's got a great opportunity here with 2 in scoring position and just 1 out. That one nearly got him, 1-1 the count. Now, Hayden, these are the moments where you can build your case for All-Star Game MVP.
All it takes is one big hit. That's all you need. Knocking a couple runs.
That one's chopped the other way. This might get 1 home. Stevens is able to block it at second. Throw to first is in time. The throw home is also in time. One of the more unusual double plays you'll ever see. The North gets on the board, but a nice heads-up play from Leah McFadden-Ackman at first to gun down Max Lucas coming home. We'll head to the home half of the 3rd inning here at Historic Hicks Field with the game all tied at 1. Hello and welcome back to the 2022 Premier Collegiate League All-Star Game here at Historic Hicks Field. The North All-Stars tied things up in the top half of the 3rd. An RBI ground out from Phil Forbes. So the South will look to retake the lead. They have a new pitcher on the mound for the North, Jacob Regini.
Yeah, Regini is one of the best pitchers for the Redbirds this season. He has an ERA of 3.42. It could be lower too. He had one bad start this year that kind of spiked it a bit, but still 3.42 is pretty damn good.
Yeah, he's been good. And he was here in Edenton a couple of games ago and pitched very well.
Yeah, he pitched a gem the other night against the Steamers.
He's going against the 3, 4, and 5 spots in the South lineup. Chase Heath leading things off. He'll send that one out to left. But it's caught on the fly by Phil Forbes for out number 1.
A lot of first pitch swinging tonight by both batters on every side.
We'll see if Jarrett May follows the same tactic, and he'll be up with 1 out here in the 3rd. May, the DH tonight for the South team. He struck out swinging his first time up against Drew Ramos.
Is he your pick right now for PCL MVP?
Well, I don't think I get a vote, but I think if I had to vote, it would have to be Jarrett May, leading the league in RBIs, home runs. Since that one a mile high, Trey Blow moving over from 3rd. He'll watch it fly out of play.
You can just tell from that swing how good he is. I was talking to Chris Stodolo, the head coach of the Redbirds, and Jarrett May, he didn't start that game. He got 1 at-bat off of the bench. He just hit a pop-up to the second baseman, but he was like, just from watching that pop-up, he can tell that he was really good.
May sends that one high in the air down the left field line. And that one's also going to tail foul. That one went over the fence, but was foul. 1-2 the count. May one of the participants in the home run derby last night, made it to that semifinal round.
Yeah, he was your pick, or my pick rather. Carter and I's pick to win, but that did not come to fruition.
I'm loyal. My pick was Tanner Thatch. That one's popped up foul. 1-2 still to count. But there wasn't really a wrong pick with last night's derby. Jeremiah Boyd from the Steamers won the derby, taking down Rylan Brown from the Voyagers in that final round.
Yeah, second Steamers catcher in the last 2 years to win the derby.
As Jarrett May strikes out swinging. Nice off speed from Regini for out number 2.
So May struck out twice tonight. First time against Ramos, and now gets struck out by Regini.
And you don't see that very much. And
No.
sometimes you have to wonder. I've heard that maybe a home run derby could mess up your swing a little bit. You know, he
Maybe.
was trying to get under everything last night and trying to hit everything out of the yard at a couple of long foul balls. But
Sure, the other teams don't mind that. Like this All-Star break is more towards the end of the year. It's a bit different than other All-Star games and weekends.
yeah, just about a week left in the regular season in the PCL as Nate Paulson grounds that one over to short. Backhanded by Wes Bonney. His throw is in time at first for the final out here in the third. Well, Hayden, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Luke.
That'll do it for the first 3 innings here in Edenton. We'll head to the fourth at historic Hicks Field with the All-Star game tied at 1. Hello and welcome back to the 2022 Premier Collegiate League All-Star Game here at historic Hicks Field in Edenton. We're all tied up in the battle between the North and the South. And I've got a new guest on the broadcast, another Edenton Steamer, Logan Fleming. Logan, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, man, no problem.
Logan teammates with Bryce Stevens at Enterprise State Community College. Came over a bit late in the season. Logan, what's been your thoughts of Edenton so far and playing with these guys?
I mean, it's been a blast. Words really can't describe it. It's a lot better than being back home in Alabama sitting on the couch doing nothing. So
Bailey grounds that one over to third. Nice play there by Alden Cottle for out number 1. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 in the North order coming up here in the fourth. Jared Davis on the mound from the Tarboro River Bandits, the fourth different pitcher used by the South All-Stars tonight. Trey Blow up at the plate now, and he'll take a called strike. 0-1 the count. Logan, I don't know if it's you, but when you got here, you brought a lot of rain with you. I think since you've been here have been all those 7 rain cancellations. Has that been weird at all, trying to adjust, get into a rhythm with all those games getting rained out?
oh, for sure. Especially since my first start was rained out after the first inning. So wasn't a lot of fun.
Yeah. That was against the Wake Forest Fungo. We got 1 inning into that game before lightning stopped it, and then the rain took us the rest of the way out. And it's a good start for Jared Davis on the mound to strike out for out number 2 as Sammy Cannella comes to the plate. Cannella from the Virginia Beach Sea Dogs walked in his only plate appearance tonight. He'll take for a called strike, 0-1. Now, I asked Jared Beebe this earlier when he was back on in the first inning. As a pitcher, would you rather be on at the beginning of the game, the middle of the game, or the end of the game? Because you know you're only getting about an inning or 2.
I feel like I'd want to be more towards the middle or the end because setting the tone is fun, I'd imagine, but when you let the game progress and you see the score run up or whatnot, it really adds that extra bit of spice to the game.
Yeah, you can be the guy to try and bring it home for your team. As the 1-2 pitch is down low again. Back-to-back balls getting by Heath. 2-2 the count. Cannella, one of 6 Virginia Beach Sea Dog All-Stars, and he takes up high. He's worked a good at bat now. 3-2 the count. Jared Davis, the former Edenton Steamer, out for the River Bandits tonight. The 3-2 pitch chopped high over to third. Alden Cottle's got it. Throw to first is in time for out number 3. Jared Davis throws a scoreless 4th inning here in the All-Star game. We'll head to the home half of inning number 4 at Historic Hicks Field, all tied at 1. Hello and welcome back to Historic Hicks Field, where we just saw Sam the Clam win his first race of the season. Logan, what do you think of that? You haven't seen Sam win anything.
Absolutely amazing. Never seen such speed like that before, especially from Sam.
For the South, from Northern.
You know, it seems like he was building up a bit of a bond with the team the last couple of games, dancing off the field, hanging out in the dugout.
Yeah, he definitely spends a lot of time with us in the dugout.
It'll be 6, 7, and 8 in the South All-Star lineup due up here in the 4th. Liam McFadden-Ackman leading things off against Jacob Regini back on the mound for his 2nd inning of work, and he went off speed there. Swing and a miss for McFadden-Ackman. McFadden-Ackman getting the start over at first base from the Tarboro River Bandits. And at this point in the game, you got to realize these could be your last at-bats with the substitutions coming at the beginning of the 6th inning. And there's a swing and a miss.
I think that's the scariest part of an All-Star game.
Yeah, you got to make the most of very limited opportunities. And if you're going to win MVP, you got to do it in 2 at-bats or 2 innings on the mound.
I feel like all you need to do to get MVP is just hit a home run, something like that.
That'll usually do it.
I don't really feel like a pitcher could win MVP because I'm sure a lot of guys are going to go 3 up, 3 down with 3 Ks or whatnot. but for hitters, it's pretty easy.
Yeah, I think Cole Bates gave about as good of a performance as you can as Bryce Stevens lines it into left, and it's caught. A sliding play from Phil Forbes in left field for out number 2.
Tough break.
Robin, your teammate, huh? Poor guy. So 2 up, 2 down here in the 4th, and I was saying that Cole Bates did it about as good as you can as a pitcher. He struck out all 3 guys he faced in the first inning, but unfortunately, bad draw for the pitchers. Probably not any shot for MVP. As that one's on the outside corner. A called strike now to Tyler Dunn up to the plate for the 2nd time tonight.
Felt like it was really weird to see Cole starting off the game, considering he's our main reliever.
Oh, yeah, he's the guy. He leads the Steamers in saves with 4 this season. He's locked down right there at the end of games, so having him pitching at 7 o'clock is definitely a bit different. Quickly 0-2 the count now to Tyler Dunn. Outside, 1-2. Dunn struck out in his only at-bat tonight. That was back against Drew Ramos. Leaves that one low, 2-2. I guess as a reliever, this isn't too far out of your comfort zone if you're in an all-star game like this, right?
No, definitely not.
The 2-2. Out in front, chops it foul. We'll do it again at 2-2.
But it definitely feels weird for me when I first got down here, because I was a starter all year for my college, and then when I got here, I was kind of bullpen guy, so it was something to get adjusted to.
Mm-hmm. And a little bit of both, because you got that start against Wake Forest, and now,
if you can call that.
Yeah, if you basically a relief appearance with 1 inning, as the count will remain 2-2 to Tyler Dunn.
Dealer brought it to you, your friend in the car business.
4 hits so far tonight for the South All-Stars. As that one's down low, 3-2. Just 2 hits tonight for the North, but the score tied at 1. An RBI single from Nate Paulson put the South on the board, and an RBI ground out from Phil Forbes tied things up for the North. It's been a very competitive game so far at Historic Hicks Field, as Dunn will ground that one over to first. Handling it over there is right. He'll flip to the bag, and it's in time for out number 3. So that'll wrap up the 4th inning here at Historic Hicks Field. Logan, thank you so much for joining me on the broadcast tonight. We will head to the 5th inning here at Historic Hicks Field, all tied at 1. Hello and welcome back to the 2022 PCL All-Star Game here in Historic Hicks Field in Edenton, North Carolina, where we're all tied up in a battle of the North and the South. I'm Luke Mealy alongside another Edenton Steamer, another reliever, Travis Hamrick, Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
The 5th different guests we've had on the broadcast so far tonight. We've still got plenty more planned as we're set to begin the 5th inning. Jacob Lawler on the mound now from the Steamers to pitch for the South. So pitcher, Travis, you spent a lot of time with Jacob Lawler. What's it about him that makes him so effective?
Well, you know, man, he's got good stuff, good fastball, but he locates the ball extremely well, and that's what I think makes him pretty dominant throughout the season.
He's thrown 16 straight scoreless innings, 3 straight scoreless starts for Lawler for the Steamers, getting an inning here in the All-Star game as that pitch will be fouled away by Trey Wright. It'll be 7, 8, 9 due up in the North order here in the 5th with Wright from the Norfolk Redbirds leading things off. Wright had an infield single, his only time up. He'll chop that one the other way. Alden Cottle's been busy tonight. He'll throw one across in time for out number 1. A lot of Steamers out there in the infield. Bryce Stevens at second, Chase Bruno at short, Alden Cottle at third. How's it feel to see all that Steamer representation out there?
Looks like to me the Steamers represent the infield pretty well in the outfield. Looks like Tarbo's got it.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like it'll switch a little bit after the 6th inning. Hunter Cole and Jackson Hipp will get a turn out there in the outfield as Rylan Brown swings and misses at the first pitch he sees. Brown, the runner-up in last night's home run derby, falling to Jeremiah Boyd. Brown certainly put on a show for the Voyagers. Were you here last night for the derby, Travis?
Oh, yeah. Me
you
and
enjoy
Sid
it?
Abbott, we actually played with Rylan when we were younger, and he's got a lot more pop since he was, 16 years old.
Oh, yeah, that'll... Man, where was that? Where were you guys all playing together?
We were playing with the Canes. It's a travel ball team, pretty good team, but we played 15, and I played with their 17U national team, but he used to be a really good pitcher, but he could swing, and I caught last night, and he was blistering pretty good.
I wanted to ask you about that. We talked to Jared Beebe earlier, who also caught in the derby. One, how did you even get the responsibility of going back there, and then how was it?
Well, responsibility-wise, the coach there was like, hey, you want to catch? I said, sure, and experience-wise, it was fun. A lot of people don't take into fact how much the BP thrower comes into the home run derby. I mean, if you got a good guy throwing, your chances are better.
So that one's raked back up the middle from Brown for his first hit of the night, and Lawler barely got out of the way of that one. That's got to be one of your biggest fears as a pitcher, right?
Yeah, I think getting a home run hit off of you.
That's true. You'd rather get hit with the ball than give up.
I'd rather get hit with the ball than a home run. That's a fact.
The mindset of a competitor from Travis Hamrick. Wes Bonney now at the plate for the North All-Stars from the Norfolk Redbirds. Lawler from the stretch gets that one across for a called strike. Not a ton of offense so far tonight, just 4 hits for the South.
No, the pitching's been pretty dominant so far. I'd say so.
Lawler, the 5th pitcher used tonight by the South, as that one's lined into right center field. It's going to drop for a hit. Brown is turning around second. He'll head for third. The throw to third is not in time. Back-to-back singles for the North. Wes Bonney's aboard. Runners at the corners now for the North All-Stars. Back to the top of the order for the North. It'll be Trey Keels coming up to the plate with a chance to break the tie. Now, obviously, you want your guys out there to win the game, but do you feel a little bit of bragging rights if the South team can beat the North team tonight?
Most definitely. I mean, the North and South battles throughout centuries have been insane, so I'm definitely a South man myself, so I hope they get the win here tonight.
Steamers and the River Bandits making up the South, and the Greenbrier Knights, Virginia Beach Sea Dogs, Norfolk Redbirds, and Suffolk Voyagers making up that North squad.
I believe Keels here is still looking for a hit tonight on that GoPro.
I know. He had a cool couple of moments with head-first slides after he walked, but I think a hit would look really cool seeing it come off the bat. Because Jared Beebe last night, who also caught for the Derby, he had it on his mask, I believe, as Jeremiah Boyd was swinging. I got to see some of that footage today. It looked really good.
Yeah, very cool. Boyd really impressed us last night. I didn't know he had that kind of power because most of his BP tries to stay second base shots to work on it, but he really showed some power last night.
Exactly. Coach Roy said before the Derby, said when Jeremiah wants to turn it on, he can, and he showed it. I mean, and he said it was the hardest thing he's ever done. He looked gassed afterwards.
He was winded, but 15 home runs in 3 minutes. I mean, granted, it's not a major league field. That's still impressive.
Oh, yeah, that's a 20-foot wall out there. The Teal Monster in left field. So that one's a called strike. Now stealing second is Bonnie, so runners at second and third is we just got to come on blue from the crowd. I don't think you hear a lot of arguing with in the All-Star game. But hey, whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. Yeah, it's been a rowdy season so far, but that's what keeps the game fun for sure.
0-2 the count. Jacob Lawler trying to throw another scoreless inning in a Steamers uniform. Max Lucas at the plate now from the Greenbrier Knights. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Jacob Lawler strands a couple in scoring position. Another scoreless inning on the mound for the South. We'll head to the bottom half of inning number 5 here at Historic Hicks Field, all tied at 1. Hello and welcome back to the 2022 PCL All-Star Game here at Historic Hicks Field in Edenton, where the North and South All-Stars are all tied at 1. A very competitive game so far. I'm Luke Mealy bringing you to the game tonight. I've got my guest for the second half inning. It's Travis Hamrick, reliever for the Edenton Steamers. Travis, it's been a good game so far. Were you expecting a real competitive game like this?
I mean, I'll be fully honest with you. I was expecting the South, put up more than they have now just by, standings in the league. And Tarboro and Steamers have been really good teams. So I was expecting a little bit bigger margin, but, a good game. I like a good game.
Yeah, we mentioned it earlier. Pitchers have dominated, 4 hits apiece for both sides. So it's been a very pitcher-heavy game, and it's now the third pitcher of the night used by the North. It'll be Aiden Hedgepeth from the Suffolk Voyagers getting his first All-Star appearance on the mound. Alden Cottle will lead things off for the South from the Edenton Steamers. Had an infield hit his first time up. He'll ground that one back towards the middle, and that one is through for a base hit. Alden Cottle, the first man in this game with multiple hits. And he's aboard with nobody out in the 5th.
So right now, that would be your game MVP, correct?
He might be. Nate Paulson has that RBI single, so I think right now I think it's a Steamers heavy. The Steamers are the favorites.
Most definitely. Number 29 here, very big on the bunts. Every game he's played us. He's a good hitter as well, but seems to be pretty bunt dominant.
Led this game off with a bunt, and he'll swing away and send that one high out towards right field. Moving in is Canella. He'll make the catch for out number 1. Hit that ball hard, but it was right at Canella. You know, Jared Beebe and Ashton Roy said the same thing. They had to bring up the bunts for James Moses.
It's every game, dude. He leads off the game, and that bunt is being pulled. I don't think he can hit it well, but I think he's just got the wheels, the lefty wheels, to be able to pull it out.
Chase Bruno now up to the plate for the South from the Edenton Steamers. It's his third at bat of the night. He'll line that one towards the middle. It is through for a base hit. A couple of singles from Steamers here in the fifth. And the South has runners at first and second with just one out. The first hit of the night for Bruno. So we've got a steamer with the only RBI tonight for the South. We'll see if a River Bandit can pay things off. It's Chase Heath up to the plate with runners at first and second. And Travis, this guy's hit the ball very well as a whole this season, but as we've seen against the Steamers.
Oh, yeah, he's a big home run hitter, but also a big contact guy for sure. He's all around. Good bat he's got there.
He grounds that one foul, 0-1 the count. It's Alden Cottle down at second, Chase Bruno at first. They both singled here in the inning. Heath is 1 for 2 tonight. Singled and flew out. Hedgepeth is the third different pitcher he's faced in this game. The 0-1. Bailey, I'm not sure what the issue was there. Was he trying to deke the runners out?
That might have been an attempt deke right there. Not very well pulled in my opinion, but, you know, you can try always.
As an experienced catcher yourself now after last night, you would know.
Well, you know, I used to catch a lot when I was younger, and, you know, I had to stop doing that because catcher's probably the toughest spot on the field, in my opinion. I mean, you constantly pitch in, pitch out, got to be zeroed in. You're kind of the head manager on the field.
Mm-hmm. And something I thought about last night with you guys catching is there were some balls going by you guys, and I feel like it's because you're expecting every pitch to get hit. You're not expecting to have to catch anything in the home run.
Yeah, I really I let one just go by me because it was almost like a sinker, and I just wasn't expecting, you know.
Heath sends that one high into the air, deep out to left center field, back to the wall, and that ball is gone. A 3-run home run for Chase Heath to put the South All-Stars ahead 4-1 in the All-Star game.
You know, we just talked about him being a power hitter, and he showed it right there.
Chase Heath, it's the first home run between the teams tonight, and that might put him in a firm lead for All-Star Game MVP.
I'm going to say right now he is the firm leader in the MVP race for this game.
A big fly for Chase Heath, the first run for the South since the first inning.
Now this guy right here, 33, he's been a menace to the Steamers. It seems like every game he plays,
you're telling me,
he's ripping the cover off the ball.
Jarrett May up at the plate from the Tarboro River Bandits to line that one to third, where it's snagged out of the air by Trey Blow for out number 2. And that'll bring Nate Paulson up to the plate now from the Edenton Steamers. Knocked in the first run of this game for the South with an RBI single. So now he's going to
number 33 being from Jersey. You're a Jersey man yourself.
I am, just like Jared Beebe.
Pork roll.
Pork roll is fantastic. I was talking about it with Jared Beebe. I'm not sure how well known it is. I had to introduce it to a couple of people down here, but I promise it's great. Put it on a breakfast sandwich, bacon, egg, pork roll, egg and cheese. You're good.
Beebe was telling me, but I never heard of it before, but he made it out to be almost like a godlike meat, and I'd never heard of it before, and the way he was describing it to the palate doesn't sound appetizing, but it may be.
I promise. You cook it the right way, and you set it up as Paulson, I think, wanted to send that one over the Teal Monster. 1-2 the count.
I think he wants the MVP with that swing. He wants it bad.
And he knows this is his last at-bat of the night, unless they hit around in the inning. So he's got to do one last thing to leave an impression on the voters. So foul that one back. And I don't really know if there are any voters. I think I'm just going to take it upon myself and declare one at the end of the game.
I think you are the only vote that matters here tonight.
Let's see, how am I going to interview a steamer of the game if Chase Heath is the All-Star Game MVP?
Well, you know, that's a tough one, but, you know, we could just do a steamer of the game anyways. anyways, he knows he's not a steamer.
Paulson grounds it over to short. The throw to first is in time to wrap up the fifth here at Historic Kicks Field. But the South take a 3-run lead thanks to a 3-run bomb from Chase Heath. That'll do it for us in the booth in the inning. Travis, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Thank you.
We will head to the sixth here at Historic Kicks Field with the South ahead 4-1. Hello and welcome back to Historic Kicks Field for our sixth inning of the PCL All-Star Game in this 2022 season. We just had a bunch of our substitutions here in the sixth inning with the other half of the guys coming into this game. Bryce Lane, the first substitute, is into this game, and he'll foul off the first pitch he sees from Porter Brady, who's on the mound with the count now 0-1. And now we've got our sixth guest of the night, Rylan Brown from the Suffolk Voyagers, joining me right now. Rylan, thanks so much for coming on, man.
No problem. Thanks for having me up here.
Well, so was it weird at all for you starting this game? I guess that's how all-star games go in the first half, and then now you get a break for the rest of the night.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm sitting up here watching, not used to, being on this side of the field, but it's kind of nice to watch good baseball going.
Good angle up here now. You just got to try and root on your guys as Lane swings and misses, 1-2 the count.
We need a comeback right now. That home run hurt us.
Yeah, that was a big fly. That was a big one.
It hurt.
Chase Heath, I was saying on the broadcast in the last inning, he's done that to the Steamers a lot this season.
How many does he have this year?
He's tied for second in the league with 6 with Tanner Thatch, so he's definitely one of the better hitters in our league.
Tanner's beat up on us. I think he's got like 4 home runs against us.
Man, Tanner has had a good season against the Voyagers in the few games they've had.
Every time he's up, I'm like, oh, here we go again. Here we go.
In your defense, Tanner does that to a lot of teams, so you don't.
That is true.
2-2 the count now to Bryce Lane coming in for Phil Forbes out in left field. Lane will line that one foul and out of play. We'll do it again at 2-2. So now we've got another guest, a former guest on this broadcast, Hayden Bandel, the announcer for the Virginia teams, back on here in the 6th inning. So a 3-man booth here for the 6th.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Hayden, good to have you back. And it seems like as soon as you got off, your North All-Star team went down by 3. So we'll see if
that means he's got to stay on now.
Exactly. He's got to work him back into it.
He's got to stay on. You got to beat this South team.
Is there a bit of a rivalry there? Do you feel it a little bit?
I just know a lot of guys on that team, and I know after the game they're going to let me hear it. So we've got to win this.
Yeah, Travis Hamrick was just on. He was talking about how you used to pitch back in the day.
Back in the day, I used to pitch, yeah.
Not as good a pitcher I am a hitter, so quit that real quick.
Yeah, I think you made the right decision. After seeing you last night in the home run derby, second place to Jeremiah Boyd, you were put on a great show, the #1 seed. It was a lot of fun to watch. How'd it feel down there?
It was fun. It was really fun because I saw big leaguers going. I'm just like, this is why they're so tired. It's really tiring. Probably one of the most tiring things I've done in the baseball career in a long time.
Yeah, and you and Jeremiah in that final round, you got 3 minutes, and you both used your timeout about a minute in. So, ooh, and that bat goes flying out of the hands of Lincoln Loveson over to third.
Get some tar. Or some batting gloves, something.
He's old school. He's got nothing. He's got.
I don't know how he does that.
Man, you ever lost a bat like that on a swing?
I have not.
Maybe you got to go give Lincoln a little bit of a lesson.
Yeah, let him know. Batting gloves and pine tar, that won't happen. Or pick one.
It almost went. That did go all the way out to third base.
I've never seen the bat go that far. Usually it goes like in the dugout. I've never seen it go all the way.
Yeah, never that far in the field of play. Usually it's foul if you let go of it that badly. But
Now, Rylan, I want to ask you about the Suffolk Voyagers' recent schedule. You guys have been more of a football schedule. Your last 3 games have been July 5th, July 12th, and July 19th. That's a week span between games. Your next game is the 26th due to the All-Star break this weekend. How has that been adjusting to that?
It's kind of hard to get in a rhythm because we started winning a few games lately, and then like as soon as we win, it's like a rain out, day off. So I think we're gonna pull through today or in the end for the playoff line. So we'll see. We're losing a few guys. Pitchers shut down the season, so that's gonna hurt. We're gonna have some guys step up this year.
Yeah, you guys lost Caden Hilberger, the starting center fielder. He's only going to be able to hit for the remainder of the season.
I'll be out there in the outfield in the playoffs.
Let's do it.
DHing.
and a called strike 3 there for Porter Brady for out number 2 here in the 6th. And you know, those playoffs coming up, they're right around the corner. We got a week left of the regular season, and round 1 is August 2nd. So.
And then hopefully guys don't have to go to college. Hopefully we have a majority of our team, but right now it's not looking like we have a lot of guys, not many others.
How does it feel, though, to go into the All-Star break after a big comeback victory over Greenbrier? You guys were down 4-0 in the 9th and stormed back to score 5.
That was probably one of the best games we had all year. We played as a team. We fought hard. We didn't give up. So that's a good sign going into late in the season. Hopefully we can take that to playoffs and then next week.
Aiden Feather up at the plate now, down in the count 0-1 against Porter Brady. Feather coming into this game for Trey Blow over at third.
Yeah, and speaking of Travis, me, Travis, and Tate, we're all on the same travel ball team back in the day. It's kind of crazy.
That's what he mentioned. That's crazy that you all end up here in the same league. That's a fly out to deep left field from Feather to wrap up the top half of the 6th. The scoreless inning on the mound for Porter Brady. We'll head to the home half of inning number 6 here at Historic Hicks Field with the South ahead 4-1. Hello and welcome back to the 2022 PCL All-Star Game here at historic Hicks Field. Thank you so much to everyone joining us tonight on the Edenton Steamers YouTube channel. I'm Luke Mealy alongside Rylan Brown from the Suffolk Voyagers and Hayden Bandel from the announcer for all the Virginia teams at Lakewood Park this season. Thanks again for these guys for coming on here in the 6th.
We might be setting a record for the most guests on a single broadcast.
Yeah, I think we might have said it already. We've had a new person on every inning. So we're going to try and keep it going the rest of the way. I'm running out of people I know at this point. I don't have anyone on the schedule. So, Rylan, if you know anyone or you want to stay on, it's completely up to you. But we'll have to get someone else out here. We got Logan Fleming behind me who was on earlier in the game. He's always welcome back. As Tate Abbott up to the plate now for the Steamers, swing and miss against Tanner Simpson.
We got Tate. Let's see what he does.
I know Tate's just been building up that energy, having to sit the first 5 innings. You know it's like building up. If he makes contact, it's going to go a long way.
And I know Tate. I know his head is Joe. He's ready to go yard right now. I talked to him earlier. I was like, I want to see you go yard this game. I want to see it. Even though he's not on my team.
Yeah.
I'm still rooting for him.
Tate's gone yard a few times for the Steamers this season. Had a two home run game here back at the beginning of July. So he's shown that power before.
He gets a hold of it.
Mm-hmm. We had a mini home run derby here one afternoon to try and decide who was going to be in the derby last night, and Tate sent 3 in a row right off the scoreboard in right field. He was
almost made it then for the home run derby.
Yeah,
he went against him instead of Jeremiah.
Jeremiah was the guy that came out of that derby. Is the 1-2. Abbott chops it over towards second. Lakos has it. Go to first in time for out number 1.
Yeah, he was just flicking him out today, and I'm just like, man, I do not know how you're still doing it. I am tired. I need Warner another time out.
It looked tough. He said it was the hardest thing he's ever done.
Yeah,
so
the hardest thing I've ever done on the field. Like, I was so tired after.
Did you ever debate not doing it? A lot of guys, I know a couple of them turned down the offer because they didn't want to, I guess, ruin their swing. Was there?
I debated, but I'm just like, I mean, it's baseball. You know, I want to have fun. I'm not professional yet, so I'm just going to have fun while I'm here.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, you had a single in your last at bat, a hard hit ball.
I don't think. I mean, for some people that's the case, but for me, I'm just like, I just want to have fun playing the game.
Zeke Hilton up to the plate now from the Tarboro River Bandits. He'll foul that one back. 1-1 the count.
Well, you've certainly been good at doing that this season. You're hitting .355 on the year for Suffolk, which is 3rd on the team. But you've been more lower in the batting order your last 5 games, 7-hole, 6-hole, and then 4, 5, and 6. How have you liked that role? Would you wish that you were higher up?
As long as I'm in the lineup and can do something to help my team win, I don't care where I am. I just, just keep swinging it. Eventually I'll get, moved up, or maybe I'll stay down there. Maybe he needs me down there, for more power at the bottom half of the lineup.
How is it being coached by Phil Forbes Sr.? He's a very textbook guy.
It's kind of fun because you got him at 3rd, you got his son at 1st, and you got his grandson in the dugout. They're all Phil Forbes, P5. So I'm just like, I'm like, Phil. They all look at me. I'm just like, all right, P5.
I was telling a story earlier tonight when P5 was at the plate about how I asked P3 what the first time you guys came to historic Hicks Field earlier this season, I said, who are the guys to watch out for? We haven't seen you get. And he's like, oh, Phil Forbes. And I was like, oh, okay. And he was like, it's my grandson. I was like, oh, there it is. I was like, Zeke Hilton works a 1-out walk here in the 6th.
And they're all the same in their own way, just older and younger generations of each other. I asked Phil the other day, I was like, what if you don't have a son? He was like, I don't know what's going to happen. We need a P6 in the family.
Got to keep the line going. As Jackson Hip trying to keep the line moving here in the 6th, coming into the game in right field from the Edenton Steamers. Enters for Tyler Dunn. That one's down low, 1-1. The offense starting to heat up here later in the game. It was a very pitcher-friendly game earlier in this one.
Yeah, everybody, maybe people a little nervous, all-star game. Now the jitters should be out, everybody's loose.
Hip sends that one high to shallow left field. Moving back from the infield is Feather from 3rd, and he'll make the catch for out number 2.
What are your thoughts, Rylan, on the north-south? Do you wish that the teams were divided up a bit, or do you like it how it is?
No, I like how it is. Definitely it's kind of a rivalry, the North versus the South. So, and I think the teams are pretty fair, honestly. We both have good arms, good bats all the way around. So I think it's a fair way to split it up, the South team versus the North team.
Hunter McLean up to the plate now from the Tarboro River Bandits, coming into the game for Alden Cottle, who started over at third base. Hilton takes off. The throw down to second is in time. What a throw from Lincoln Lubson behind the plate.
All right, thank you guys. Thanks for having me.
Rylan, thank you so much for coming on here in the 6th. We'll head to the 7th at Historic Hicks Field with the South ahead 4-1. Hello and welcome back to the PCL All-Star Game here in the 2022 season with the South All-Stars ahead 4-1 over the North. Another pitching change for the South. Gage Riddick from the Edenton Steamers is on the mound here in the 7th. I've got a familiar guest back on the mic with me, Logan Fleming, pitcher for the Edenton Steamers. Logan, thanks for coming on back.
It's great to be back.
Now, Logan, we were talking in the break about Gage Riddick. He's a guy that you're excited to see throw here in the 7th inning.
Oh, yeah, for sure. When I first got here, him and I think it was Cole, the pitcher that led off the game, were throwing with a 7-ounce ball. And if you didn't know, average baseball is about 5 ounces, so adding a little bit more weight to it. And they were throwing it pretty hard. So ever since I saw him warm up, I was pretty excited to watch him throw.
Now, have you gotten a hold of that ball? Does it feel a lot different? Is it still pretty throwable?
It's kind of... You can't really tell the difference when you first start throwing with it, but when you pick up a regular baseball after it, it feels like you're throwing around a bunch of feathers. Like, that's the best way to describe it. It's just like same concept as putting a weight on your bat. It just makes the bat feel so light.
That's got to be a good feeling, too. If you feel like you're throwing a feather.
You definitely feel like you're throwing 5 miles per hour faster. But.
Luke Waters up to the plate now for the North. His first at-bat of the game coming in for Sammy Cannell out in right field. It's 1-1 the count with Riddick.
I've definitely noticed the whole time that I've been here, the umpires really don't like to call high off speeds for strikes.
No. That one's hit high in the air out towards center field. Moving back is Cole. He's under it, and he'll make the catch for out number 1. See, sometimes back here, when they hit the ball in the air, I lose it. I completely rely on the fielder. So if Hunter starts turning, my voice gets higher. If he stops, I get a little lower.
It's definitely the same concept for me in the dugout. I can see it a little bit better than you can, but when it gets up and goes towards that left field wall, I can't really tell if it's going to go over, if it's just going to bang off the top. But
That one's fouled back.
You eventually find out.
Benny Spady up to the plate now for the North, coming into the game for Trey Wright. Spady from the Suffolk Voyagers. He'll check his swing, hit it right back to Riddick, and we're going to call it a foul ball. Maybe fouled it off himself.
Fouled it off his foot.
Yeah.
It looked like it hit plate, to be honest.
That's what I thought, too, because it went so directly. But Jeremiah boy trying to figure out where it got him. I don't think he agrees with the call back there. Jeremiah, good to see him in the game after winning the home run derby last night here at historic Hicks Field.
100%.
Second straight year a Steamer has took home that title.
He's such a great guy. I know a lot of people don't get the chance to talk to him when he's off the field, but he's such a personality. I mean, first day I was here, he was probably one of the first two guys that came up to me and shook my hand, and I had a good conversation with him. So definitely probably one of the nicest guys I've met while I've been down here. That's
what I've noticed too. A lot of good guys, but Jeremiah Boyd definitely stands out. He's certainly a fan favorite here already in his first year in Edenton.
Definitely. Kind of the atmosphere, the crowd changes when he walks up to the plate, but it might just be that spectacular walk-up song he has to get the crowd involved. So
I think my favorite part is when we go on the road and the whole dugout tries to hum his walk-up song and yell it out to him.
We definitely do.
He tries to bring that one back across. It's a bit outside on Spady, 3-2 the count. So how you feeling right now for your guys in the South? The 4-1 lead. A couple of good pitchers coming up here towards the end.
For the pitchers so far, I'm definitely proud of them because the Steamers have really dominated the innings that they've thrown. Rough little at bat there.
That one
inside. Talk about that.
Spady works a walk against Riddick. He's the first one aboard here in the 7th with one out.
But on the offensive aspect of it, I'd definitely say I'm kind of disappointed. I was expecting a little bit more runs, but that 3-run homer was, I guess, a start to what I was expecting. So still got another 2 innings of baseball to play.
Yeah.
So there's still a lot of time left.
And there are a lot of guys that were in the Derby last night that are hitting here tonight again. So you'd hope for a little more firepower. Spady takes off. Boyd throws down to second, and Spady gets in.
Yeah, and those guys were making it look easy yesterday.
Oh, yeah. We just had Rylan on as you were sitting behind us, so you might have caught some of the conversation. But him and Jeremiah are both so tired, the hardest thing they've ever done, swinging those bats for that long.
I'm sure. I was tired watching them.
Have you ever thought about throwing in a derby and like the amount of pressure that might be on the pitcher in those situations?
If I'm being completely honest, I wouldn't want to be in that situation because my soft toss isn't the greatest.
That one's floated out to center. Cole will make the catch for out number 2.
Smart idea not to tag.
Yeah, he already showed his speed out there taking second. He didn't need to test Cole's arm for third.
Especially how shallow he was in the outfield. Smart idea not to test it.
So now that'll bring Dominic Proctor up to the plate as Trevor Self flies out in that at-bat.
But back to the home run derby, Blake Gibson last night. I don't think I've ever seen somebody throw such great BP before. I mean, it was on the money every single time. And in Jeremiah's defense, everybody mishits balls, but looked like they were in the same spot every single time. There was no difference.
Well, there's got to be a lot of trust, too, to ask a guy that you just met. You weren't teammates before this season, and this summer, I guess seeing Blake throw over and over again, it built Jeremiah's confidence up in him. And Blake, who's been a good starting pitcher for the Steamers, that's a whole different animal, but he lived up to it.
Yes. But going back, I mean, you got to think there's also a lot of pressure thrown to those guys.
Oh, yeah.
Their success kind of depends on how good you throw. And after watching the MLB home run derby recently, and a couple of those BP throwers were a little rough, and I definitely wouldn't want to be in that position.
Man, it's the nerves. You got hundreds of people here to watch you throw BP. That one gets him right in the back. Proctor will take first on the hit by pitch.
Looked like a curveball that got away from him. Definitely wasn't his fastball.
All right, top of the order now for the North. Tying run coming to the plate. It'll be Quincy Scipio coming up for the first time. He'll be out.
I know pitching in an all-star game is definitely rough because with me it really shows because it takes me about an inning or two to get settled in before I really start pounding the strike zone. And if I came out and I wasn't like in the right headspace or I didn't get enough pitches in the bullpen, you can definitely run into some trouble out there, which I'm confident Gage will pull through it, so not too worried about it.
And you're really only throwing at the most 2 innings. Most of these guys getting 1 inning tonight, so you've got to lock in. You've got to be almost perfect.
Definitely.
We've seen a few different steamers already tonight. Cole Bates struck out the side back in the first, and Chris Morris, Jacob Lawler also went tonight.
And it all comes back to you. I mean, you just got to treat it like another game. So you can't make anything special out of it. You just got to go out there and do what you do.
Exactly. A whole new situation, a bunch of new teammates in that dugout. But again, it's at the end of the day, you just got to approach it like it's the same thing.
After that last Tarboro game we played against them at that away game, I definitely thought there was going to be some tension in the dugout, but it looks like the guys have gotten over it, which all of our games while I've been here have been tense with Tarboro. So
yeah,
I was a little scared for a couple of the guys, but I'm sure they worked it out. It's water under the bridge. It's just baseball.
Exactly. In an all-star game, everyone's coming in with the same goal. They're all happy to be there. And when you play a team 9 times in the regular season with 3 games left against them, you're going to get pretty familiar.
Oh, yeah. And that's what I was kind of surprised about when I first got up here, the fact how the Steamers and Tarboro have played so many more games than everybody else has, and the majority of our games have been against them. So it was confusing to understand.
Yeah.
You get over it, I guess.
Yeah. Top 2 teams right now standing-wise in the Premier Collegiate League, and those top 2 teams get a bye in the playoffs. We're just a week away from the end of the regular season, so it looks like as of now that's where things are going to go. You got 3 more games against the River Bandits coming up right out of the All-Star break, and those games will most likely decide those 1 and 2 seeds in the playoffs.
And I was really excited to get up here because when I heard about the winning percentage for Edenton.
That one's lined into left field by Scipio. Spady's coming home. It's bobbled in left by Johnson. A run comes home in the north. Inches a bit closer. It's now 4-2 South All-Stars.
But back to what I was saying, that winning percentage I heard about when I was about to come up here, because it took me about 4 or 5 days to get ready for the trip to come up here because I came 11 hours. It's a long way to Alabama. But the winning percentage I heard y'all were on a 10-game
winning streak the day you got here.
So yeah, I was really excited to see, and this team met my expectations. I mean, all around, batting, pitching, defense. It's just amazing.
Very good team. A lot of them out here tonight. 15 All-Stars for the Steamers. Gage Riddick, one of them on the mound, trying to keep the South All-Stars in the lead. It's a 2-run game with Justin Lakos at the plate. The tying run out at second. He'll check his swing and foul it off, 1-1. So Riddick trying to lock in here. We've seen the South pitchers work out of a couple of jams tonight. They need one more time here in the 7th to stay in the lead.
It only takes one. He'll get out of it here soon.
Lakos coming in at second for Max Lucas in this game. In the 6th through the 9th innings tonight. As he'll ground that one towards the middle. Stopped by Riddick. He doesn't know where it is. It's at his feet. And Lakos is going to take first.
That was some really solid time.
A real hard-hit ball. Riddick seems okay, and he just had no idea where the ball was. I don't think I've ever seen a ball stop right at his feet like that. It's now a 4-3 game here in the 7th with runners at the corners for the North.
I know that had to hurt. I could hear that contact from all the way up in the booth through the headphones.
You have to think it hit him so hard that that's probably why he thought it bounced so far away, and it just stopped right there. As Bryce Lane now at the plate with the North All-Stars down 1. Back-to-back RBI singles. No one out there to check on him. He seems good to go to try and keep his team ahead. That one swung on and missed.
Keep that momentum. He just doesn't want to stop. He's really trying to get out of this inning. Which, who can blame him? If I was in that situation, I'd be trying to force a ground ball or pop up some way, somehow.
That's all you can do. Is Lakos steals second, so now 2 in scoring position for the North. That one's taken outside by Lane. 1-1 the count. Lane struck out on his only at bat tonight. This is a good game. This is a competitive ball game. I mean, this is what you want in any all-star game.
Definitely made the game more exciting since North has been trying to chip back into the game. I know I was really surprised when I first got down here to see a guy from IMG Academy playing in this league, because every baseball guy watches videos of IMG Academy.
Oh, of course.
Playing big-time teams, and I was kind of shocked just because, IMG Academy is all the way down to Florida, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he came just about as far as I did.
And Lane from IMG Academy earning that all-star spot, playing well this season. 1-2 the count with Gage Riddick, trying to keep the South ahead. Swung on, fouled away. Lane staying alive with Scipio over at third and Lakos down at second. The North already 2 runs on the board in the inning to make it a 1-run game.
Still trying to keep track of who all's still out there and who got changed. Looks like the infield is more dominated by Tarboro this inning.
And a swing and a miss by Lane. Jeremiah Boyd has to throw to first to finish it off, and he will. A big strikeout for Gage Riddick to wrap up the top of the 7th and keep his team ahead. But the North All-Stars put 2 on the board in the inning. It's now 4-3 South as we head to the home half of the 7th. Hello and welcome back to the 2022 Premier Collegiate League All-Star Game with the North and the South All-Stars competing tonight. The North putting a couple runs on the board in the top of the 7th to make it a 1-run game. Hello and thank you everyone for joining us once again tonight. I'm Luke Mealy alongside Logan Fleming, reliever from the Edenton Steamers. Tanner Simpson still on the mound for the North as his first pitch to Hunter McLean is down and inside.
I think the biggest thing for the South right here is matching the North from this last half inning. They got to keep that they can't let the momentum shift, and if they do, it's gonna turn out to be a pretty tight game, which it already is right now. But
McLean sends that one high in the air to left. Moving in is Lane. He'll make the catch.
I see what you mean now.
Right? You lose it up there.
It looks like it's hit a lot harder, but it doesn't carry that far.
Honestly, with the sound of the bat, too, I thought he hit it really hard. And sometimes if you're looking out this window, too, here on the left side, you get a bit of a glare, and then you really just got to hope that the fielder says something. We're going to have a pitching change in the middle of an inning for the first time tonight. So that'll do it for Tanner Simpson as he gets the first out here in the 7th. We'll take a short break here in the All-Star Game. We'll be right back with the rest of the 7th inning here from Historic Hicks Field. Hello and welcome back to the 2022 PCL All-Star Game. Hunter Cole up to the plate now, representing the Edenton Steamers out there for the South squad, and he'll send the first pitch he sees high out to left center field. That one's going to get down to the wall. Scipio will get it in. Cole thought about going for three. He'll stop at second. A one-out double for Hunter Cole to put a runner out in scoring position for the South.
Good start.
Steamers representing themselves nice tonight, Logan.
Yeah, for sure.
Cole in his first at bat.
I hope so.
As Ty Barango from the Tarboro River Bandits will come to the plate for the first time tonight. Barango entering the game for Chase Bruno. We were just told by Commissioner Dooley in that last half inning that we will play all 9 innings, top and bottom, no matter what. So even if the South is ahead, we're going to play that bottom of the 9th as Barango sends one out to right center field. A diving catch by Scipio. What a play in center field. An all-star level play made by Scipio to keep Cole down at second.
Maybe the commissioner think about having like the MLB rules where if there's a tie, we have a home run derby at the end.
Add a derby there at the end? Yeah, exactly.
That would be pretty cool.
So Barango robbed of a hit. There's 2 outs. And last night's home run derby champion, Jeremiah Boyd, will come to the plate to try and add things on for the South. Boyd comes in for Chase Heath, who I think is in the lead for the All-Star Game MVP right now with his 3-run home run.
Easily.
So that one's down low. Cole will take off. He'll take third. A potential insurance run for the South just 90 feet away for Jeremiah Boyd. It's A.J. Zeke into the game on the mound for the Voyagers. Came in relief of Tanner Simpson, who got the first out of this inning. Boyd swings and misses that one, 1-1. Would love to see if the home run derby affects his swing at all, if he's going to become more of a home run guy now.
I doubt it. I mean, if you watch him take BP, he's a real, like, hard line drives over the second baseman. He's real fundamentally sound. He never really tries to take big hacks during BP. He's all working drills and whatnot.
That one got by Lupson, got into the South dugout. Hunter Cole will come home from third, and they re-extend the lead. It's back to 2. It's 5-3 South All-Stars. That's a big insurance run with what the North just put up there, so the South will take that. You mentioned you thought the South had to match the North here in this inning. They got 1 run back on that lead.
It's a start.
The 2-1 to Boyd. He'll swing and miss as someone from the crowd yells just like last night, trying to maybe that'll get a reminder for Jeremiah, and he'll just send one over the fence.
I definitely think he can turn it on when he wants to. It's just a matter of him getting his pitch that he's looking for.
2-2 the count with A.J. Zeke on the mound, the all-star from the Suffolk Voyagers. Swan hit high out towards center field. Scipio will move a bit to his right. He's under it, and he'll make the catch for the final out of the inning. But the South put another run on the board. All started by a double from Hunter Cole. We'll head to the 8th here at Historic Hicks Field. A 2-run lead for the South. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to the 2022 Premier Collegiate League All-Star Game here in Edenton at historic Hicks Field. The South All-Stars lead 5-3, and we've got a new guest on the broadcast. We have Hayden Banzel, who's been on already, but Sammy Canella from the Virginia Beach Sea Dogs on tonight. Sammy, how you doing? How was it being out there to start this game?
Thank you. It was a pleasure to be here. It was a good opportunity. I mean, just the environment and just to play with like the All-Stars. Everybody dreams of it. It's not the same thing as the big leagues, but man, I'm an All-Star. I can say that now.
Now, were you thinking about in your head going for the All-Star Game MVP, or was it more just you're happy to be out there?
Oh, no. My first at bat was a 3-0 count. I looked at the catcher. I'm like, 3-0, should I swing? He goes, hey, it's an All-Star. I was ready to swing out of my shoes, but I didn't get the pitch, but you know.
We talked about it up here. We were like, I think in an All-Star game, everybody gets the green light. I mean, I think it's all you.
I said it in my head. I'm like, if I'm getting a fastball middle and I'm swinging out of my shoes, whether I look good or bad, I'm swinging.
Lee Watson into the game now for the South to pitch from the Tarboro River Bandits. And he'll go up against Corbin McLeod coming in for Lincoln Lubson at the plate.
Sammy, you have one home run here in Edenton this season. I know you were in Israel the past couple of weeks. Would you have participated in the home run derby if you weren't there?
Oh, I mean, I've kind of been hurt, but honestly, I would have done it. I feel like I would have given a couple people a run for their money. I say that.
Yeah.
I feel confident. 300 down the line, yeah, I would have made it fun. But that's just me personally talking.
But that 20-foot wall in left field, the Teal Monster.
Like you said, I already have one here. Why can't I do it again?
Why not?
It's a great mindset.
Always money's on my side, always.
1-1 pitch is outside, 2-1 now the count.
And you said you didn't get home today until what, 3 in the morning?
Yeah, I got home to New York yesterday at 4 in the morning. No, so I got to New York at 2 p.m. and then I hopped on a bus from New York to here. I got here at 4 in the morning. Dooley texted me, "Are you gonna be here for the All-Star?" I was like, "Man, that's a long trip." But hey, I had to make it. I had to.
Does it feel worth it so far?
100% worth it. Just the environment, the guys, like again, the crowd.
It's a fun time. You're never going to have all these guys here at the same time in front of this crowd ever again. So it is a cool time here at the All-Star Game.
No, 100%. And then I'm from New York, so I'm like, yo, I'm going to be an All-Star in Virginia Beach. I can't. Not a lot of guys from my town can say that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I was like, I saw that I was starting. I'm like, damn, now I really got to go.
In fact, Luke, I've mentioned this on my broadcast before, but Sammy and I grew up in Midwood, which is in Brooklyn, right where a couple minutes from where Sammy grew up.
Like about 10 minutes away.
Wow.
It's a small world.
Small world. And now we're both here at the All-Star Game at historic Hicks Field.
So how you feeling about your guys right now? Down by 2, but still a lot of baseball left. You got some runs in the last inning. Do you think you guys have the firepower to get this back?
All I'm saying is, do not let number 27 hit with a man on base. Because that man is hot. He is hot.
He has 3 home runs in his last 2 games.
Oh, 2 of them were against us. No, I remember. That's what I'm saying. I'm taking my guy.
Benny Spady walked in his at-bat. There's a strikeout to start the night for Lee Watson. Out number 1 here in the 8th.
So how was your trip to Israel? What did you do over there overseas?
I mean, we got to see a lot of, I'm Catholic, so we got to see a lot of, the religious stuff. But then overall, we went to, the desert. I got to ride a camel.
Hey, that's awesome.
Wow.
We went to the Dead Sea, the Jordan River. It was an experience. It was a blast. The one thing I didn't like was the food.
The food.
The food and the water. Oh, my God. But other than that, I can't complain.
Earlier in the broadcast, we were talking about pork rolls. Luke is from New Jersey. A lot of the guys down here don't call it that.
Nah.
Do you call it pork roll?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Luke, what did they call it? I forget what.
I don't think they knew what it was.
They didn't even. Okay.
My friend here, another one of the interns here with the Steamers, Cameron Bassnight, she said, is it like Taylor ham? I feel like that's usually the comparison you hear a lot when it comes to pork roll.
Hey, my mom's over here texting me that she's watching this. Yo, Ma, yo sé que tú estás viendo el juego. She just texted me that she's hearing this.
Well, it's a good shout out. You're, I think now the 7th or 8th new voice we've had on the broadcast tonight. So thank you for coming on. We've had everybody filtering in and out.
Hey, stay tuned because Trey's after me.
It's a very sweaty headset at this point.
Honestly, that didn't even matter.
It's humid out there already.
Oh, my jersey's soaked. I was mic'd up, but in my last inning defensively, it's kind of fun.
0-2 now the count.
You got to get some hits going.
And Feather takes outside, 1-2. It's the second at bat of the night for Feather, who flew out his first time up. 6 hits tonight for the North All-Stars, 3 runs to show for it, trailing by 2. Running out of time here, but you mentioned it. Benny Spady, he's still due up later in this game, so you give him a guy on.
No, I'm telling you, if it's still a 2-round ball game and there's a man on, do not pitch to him. You heard it here first.
Luke Waters is also on deck. He's got a couple home runs this season for Greenbrier.
I always said every time we come here, we're the underdogs. And now is the time to show what we got at the TSL side.
Yeah, the underdogs and the Sea Dogs.
Yeah.
You're so good, Hayden. Popped up again, foul. Long at bat here for Feather.
Number 14 versus number 14. Earlier, when Warren Bailey was batting, I think Travis Hamrick, or it might have been assistant coach Ashton Roy, he was talking about Jay Bullock, who also wears number 28, and he was like talking about number 28, and then I'm listening to the broadcast, and I'm thinking he's talking about Warren Bailey, who's at the plate. I was so confused.
Get down.
It's hit out towards center field. Cole moving back. He's under it, and he'll make the catch for out number 2.
Fans, make sure you check those 50-50 raffle tickets. Still don't have a winner yet. 832.
Hey, number 27's on deck. Remember, if he gets on, better walk him.
Luke Waters at the plate. You heard it here first. If Luke Waters gets aboard, don't pitch to Benny Spady.
Let's go.
It's on you, Luke.
Waters has an on-base percentage of .431 this season.
All right, good odds. Good odds.
Hey, take a base knock here.
Swings at the first pitch, chops it fouled on the third base side. 0-1 the count.
Hey, one thing I will say, the South, they came prepared with a lot of pitchers. A lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've had a different pitcher for every inning, and for you guys in the North, you guys have had a couple guys go multiple innings, a couple guys work into a second inning. The 0-1 is chopped over the head.
Beat it.
Barango's got it. Throw to first. There
we go.
That's by the first baseman, Abbott.
Hey, remember what I said. If he goes yardie, I'm going to lose it.
There's a runner at first. And 2 outs for Benny Spady.
That's my guy right here. Oh, he's on the right side. Come on, bro. I'm hyping you up too much over here. Don't let me down. At least a base hit.
With his team down by 2. Spady trying to play the hero here for the North.
He walked from the left side in his first plate appearance, now on the right side with the lefty arm on the mound.
Little switch hitting. He's trying to show off here at the All-Star game. He's got to show everything he's got. He'll swing and miss at the first pitch he sees. I think
he wanted it.
Bad intentions on his mind, Sammy, I think.
He might hear you from up here.
Hey, go yard. That's the only thing right here. Yard ties the game.
Watson on the mound.
Put him in consideration for MVP.
No.
Checks his swing. It's a bit off the plate. They check it first. He didn't go. 1-1 the count.
I'm telling you, they're better off walking him. Hey, he said it before the game. I'm very hot right now. I'm not trying to jinx him, but hey, stay hot, kid.
He's got Luke Waters down at first. Takes outside. 2-1 the count. I guess these are the guys you see the most over there at Lakewood Park. All these Virginia teams all now on that same team. Is it cool to be a part of all those guys that you've matched up with time and time again?
100%. Like a couple of the guys, I'm like, damn. Like for the our starting pitcher, I'm like, for once, it's good to be on your side. But I mean, it's a cool experience. You get to know more of the guys in the league now. Like now when we play each other, we'll talk more and joke around a little bit more.
3-1 the count to Spady. We'll see if he gets one to hit here.
Hey, 3-1, don't miss it.
He missed it there. 3-2 the count.
He's definitely trying to tie this game up.
I don't blame him. Do it, bro. Come on.
All-star game, why not?
And
hey, we'll take the walk here.
On deck, Trevor Self.
Waters should be in motion.
Waters takes off. That one's inside. Ball 4. And the North has the tying run over at first with 2 outs here in the 8th. as Trevor Self comes up to the plate. He flew out in his only at-bat tonight.
Designated hitter from Eastern Mennonite, Trevor Self.
Sammy, who's one guy who's not representing the Sea Dogs on the All-Star team that you've gotten to know a bit tonight?
Oh, so somebody who's not from the Sea Dog.
And obviously not Benny either.
What's his name? He started. He was our DH to start the game. Number 18, I think it was.
Rylan Brown.
Yeah.
Rylan was on with Luke and I earlier in the broadcast.
He's a great guy.
What were you talking to him about?
What weren't we talking about is the question. that's the question. What weren't we talking about?
Rylan made it to the finals in the home run derby last night. I wasn't sure if you got to watch it, but he got all the way there, fell to Jeremiah Boyd from the Steamers. That one's up high to Self, 1-1. The North trying to put one more run together here in the 8th, trailing by 2. The tying run over at first.
Like, I honestly feel like since we have 4 different teams, it's kind of harder for us to bond, because over there it's just 2 teams, and most of these guys already know each other.
Yeah. Rylan actually already knows a couple of the guys from Edenton. He said he played travel ball with them when he was earlier.
See, that's the thing. A lot of these guys have grown up together, played with each other. I feel like an outsider. I'm from New York. I'm far from home.
But you know some guys playing over at CCBC Essex, like Benny and Danny Padilla, who's in attendance tonight as a fan.
Yeah, and then you got Jordan Daddio.
Daddio.
2-2 now the count to Trevor Self, trying to keep the 8th inning alive for the North. Lee Watson trying to keep his South team in the lead.
Hey, base hit do a job here. So a little two strike approach.
The 2-2.
Good eye.
Side, 3-2 the count. The runners will be off on the pitch.
Left 2 base runners in scoring position last inning. Big pitch here.
Self came into the game for Rylan Brown, the designated hitter in this North lineup. The 3-2.
Good eye.
Outside, ball 4, and the bases are loaded for the North with the tying run down at second.
We're cooking something here. Hey, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't he have a base hit last at bat?
Proctor coming up to the plate.
Yeah.
He was hit by a pitch.
Oh, wrong guy.
But that would do the job right now with the bases loaded.
Hey, anything would do the job.
All of this with 2 outs. First 2 batters from the North were retired to start this 8th inning.
And their 2 RBI hits back in the 7th game with 2 outs, so they're trying to clutch up here in the 8th.
Shortstop from Brian Track.
Dominic Proctor up to the plate from the Greenbrier Knights. Trying to be a hero here for the North All-Stars.
We got a little bit of speed on the base path. I feel confident a base hit. I would prefer a double in the gap, because that would clear the bases.
Yeah, we saw Spady show some speed earlier, stole second base.
Yeah, apparently he runs a 6'8".
0-1 the count, 6'8" in what?
That's what I said. He was talking in the dugout. He goes, yeah, I run a 6'8". I'm like, I don't know about that, but sure.
The 0-1. Fouled away, 0-2 the count. Dominic Proctor trying to keep this inning alive for the North.
It's a big inning right here.
It's been a lot of fun tonight, but now it's getting a little dramatic down the stretch. Just like you want any All-Star game, you want it to be as competitive as possible.
No, especially a lot of back and forth going on. But, that's what makes it more fun, because everybody's in the game, the players, the crowd. You hear a lot of the fans talking over here.
The 0-2. Outside.
That's a
Boyd
nice breaking
tried
ball.
to bring it back. 1-2 the count.
I'm surprised he took that one.
Yeah, that's tough to lay off.
That was close. The umpire said, I'm going to flip a coin on this one.
Had a lot of movement, too.
Watson's ready from the stretch. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Lee Watson strikes out Dominic Proctor to keep the South ahead and strand the bases loaded. We'll head to the home half of the 8th here at historic Hicks Field with the South ahead 5-3. Sammy, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Hey, thank you for having me. Shout out to all my guys in New York.
We will be right back with the bottom half of the 8th. Hello and welcome back to the 2022 Premier Collegiate League All-Star Game with the South All-Stars ahead 5-3. We've got another new guest in the booth, Trey Keels from the Virginia Beach Sea Dogs. Trey, thanks so much for coming on, man.
Thank you for having me. It won't take a lot to top what we just had. Sam did a great job. So
Sammy,
I'm gonna try.
Sammy Canella was here in the top half of the 8th. Now, Trey, you had that GoPro on when you were up at the plate. Do you think you got some good shots?
I hope so, yeah. It's from my YouTube channel, Trey Kills. I like to put stuff out, see for the kids, for everybody watching. Like, especially an experience like this, the All-Star Game. Some people don't experience the point of view and stuff like that, so it's pretty cool to put that out and see the comments and everything I get from it.
That's for sure. And we saw you had a head-first slide into second. Wasn't sure if you needed to do it, but I know for the content, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Make sure you get the views up, maybe.
What's the channel? Just Trey Keels?
Trey Keels, Trekeeels.
Beautiful. Tanner Thatch up at the plate now, representing the Edenton Steamers. His first at bat of the night is that one's in the dirt, 2-1. Thatch was in the home run derby last night for Edenton. Second in the league with 6 home runs.
Yeah, I was scared when he was going up. I had 6, and he had 5. he was coming up me. I was like, oh, please, please.
Speaking of Trey stealing bases, Trey, in 7 games this year with Virginia Beach, you have 12 stolen bags. You had 5 in one game.
Yeah,
you can't really teach speed, but you just watching you out there, you have a really smart and high IQ. There was a time where the catcher was lobbing it over. I mentioned it earlier in the broadcast when you stole, when the catcher was just lobbing it back and you decided to take home. How did you learn to have such a high baseball IQ?
I mean, it just comes with experience, the reps, and you know the situations I use play. I mean, sometimes it don't always go my way. So, but just playing the game a lot, knowing what you can and cannot do, test your limits. That's how you know how much you can stretch. Yeah.
Harrison Johnson now up to the plate for the South All-Stars, representing the Tarboro River Bandits. It's his first at-bat of the night after Tanner Thatch pops out to third. An impressive play over there by Feather. Johnson will send that one high in the air to right field. Moving back is Waters. He's under it to make the catch. We're out number 2.
What do you think of Bryce being out in right tonight?
Hey, I don't know, man. I saw the lineup. I was like, are you sure you want to be out there? He's holding it down. He's holding it down out there.
And now we're going to get another pitching change here at historic Hicks Field. The night is done for A.J. Zeke. The last man slated to come in, Kellen Davis for the North All-Stars. We're going to take a quick break during the pitching change, and we'll be right back with the bottom half of the 8th. Hello and welcome back to the 2022 Premier Collegiate League All-Star Game, where we just had a pitching change for the North team. We're still joined by Trey Keels and Hayden Bandel. Trey, a lot of fun here tonight, a competitive game. How are you feeling about your guys going into this final inning and a half?
I feel great about them still. Time's coming close, though. We need to put something together, put some runs up. We're getting the people on base, just not getting them in, so we got to change that.
A lot of guys out there on the bases for the North All-Stars. Again, they had the bases loaded in the top half of this inning, unable to bring anyone home. But with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th, trying to keep the deficit at just 2. As Tate Abbott comes up to the plate now for the South, representing the Edenton Steamers, his second at-bat of the night. Trey, was there any more pressure knowing that you're coming out in the 6th inning, so you got to do the most with your at-bats as you can?
Yeah, I knew I had limited at-bats. Oh,
Abbott sends that one high in the air. He is feeling it. That one is long gone. Tate Abbott. The second home run of the night for the South, and it's a 6-3 lead.
That was tough. I'm not going to lie. He's not even on my team. I should not be cheering on him.
He knew that one right off the bat.
He must have been sitting on that. First pitch from Kellen Davis.
Abbott takes Kellen Davis deep on one of his first pitches of the night. Man. Tate trying to make a run at that All-Star Game MVP.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to do when I was up there. That was my plan.
Yeah.
Go ahead. It didn't quite work out that way, though.
Back to the right fielder, Bryce Lane. You and him went to IMG together, right?
Yes, sir.
So did you recruit him to come down here? Did he recruit you? How did that kind of pan out?
He said he was going there first.
Okay.
And it wasn't until COVID year hit, and my high school I was going to cancel their season that I decided to go behind him. So actually, you could say he recruited me there.
Coming out of high school, you're the highest ranked recruit in West Virginia history for their baseball program. You have any pressure that you feel on you?
It's just pretty cool to say, going in there, being the highest recruit, but it's the pressure you add yourself. So you just got to go in there and play your game. Trust you're ranked that high for a reason.
Yeah.
So just go out there and play. Have fun in the game.
Exactly.
Had a lot of fun tonight as Zeke Hilton now at the plate, representing the Tarboro River Bandits, walked in his only plate appearance tonight. So take for a called strike, 2-2. Kellen Davis trying to lock things down here in the 8th and keep the North within striking distance going into the 9th.
That was a nice pitch there from Davis. Outside corner to Hilton.
Long stare in. Here comes the 2-2 from Davis. Missed a bit low. 3-2 now the count. So let's see. For you guys in the order, you'll be back at the top of the order in the 9th inning, needing a little bit of a run. It'll be the guys that knocked in the last 2 runs, leading things off as Hilton fouls that back.
That home run didn't help. Now we got a little more work to do.
That's what it might take, a bomb. Get a couple guys on and just try and tie the thing up.
You never know what can happen.
The 3-2. Hilton fouls at third base side, and we'll do it again at 3-2.
Trey, I asked Sammy in the last half inning if there's someone not who you were a current teammate with that you've gotten to know down there in the North dugout. Anyone in particular that you were able to talk to?
Probably Quincy, center fielder right now. Play for the Knights. Doing outfield reps. He's a pretty cool guy.
Yeah.
Got a lot closer. Oh.
Hilton strikes out swinging. Trey, thank you so much for joining us in the inning, man. It was a lot of fun as the South takes a 6-3 lead heading into the 9th thanks to a long solo home run from Tate Abbott. Hello and welcome back to the final inning of the 2022 Premier Collegiate League All-Star Game. Again, thank you so much to everyone tuning in tonight on the Edenton Steamers YouTube channel. I'm Luke Milai. I'll be joined by Hayden Bandel for the final inning here at historic Hicks Field. Remember, we're playing both the top and the bottom of the ninth, no matter what the score is. Make sure all these All-Stars get the at-bats they deserve. As we've got a new pitcher on for the South. It is Tanner Thatch on the mound. We saw him hit already tonight from the Edenton Steamers. Thatch, a fantastic two-way guy, drafted by the San Francisco Giants in the 18th round. And he's out here for the South team trying to close things out against the top of the order of the North. Quincy Scipio at the plate. He'll take outside for a ball, 1-0.
Definitely for the North guys. You're happy that a lefty is on the mound for the righties due up in the inning, but not too sure how happy they are to see Tanner Thatch out there.
No, I think Thatch has had his way with a lot of lineups this season. His first 11 innings of the season were scoreless before giving up a couple runs in Tarboro the other night, but he's been fantastic. You could say he's the best hitter for the Steamers and also one of the best pitchers as well. Rare to see that. That one's grounded towards the middle. Barango moves to his left, and he dropped the ball. Scipio's aboard with nobody out here in the ninth.
It's the second error in as many innings for Ty Barango over at shortstop. And that allows the leadoff runner to get on, which is big for the North guys.
It's just about putting base runners on. What Sammy and Trey said, they still had a lot of faith in their guys.
They did. They had a lot of faith.
Sammy Cannella and Trey Keels were on here in the 8th inning, trying to root on their guys. And Hayden, I really thought if someone hit a home run, Sammy might have broken the sound system here. There's a check swing by Lakos. It's a strike, 0-1 the count, but moving from first to second is Scipio. His run doesn't mean a ton. He still has to score to chip away, but he does take away that force down at second. Lakos had an RBI single his last time up. He's got a runner out in scoring position here with nobody out in the ninth.
Yeah, he hit one right back to the pitcher. I never saw that, where the pitcher had hit his front foot and it just stayed there.
Hit it really hard right back at Gage Riddick, and like you mentioned, he hit it so hard you'd think it would have ricocheted somewhere, and it just stopped.
Maybe even as he was looking around for it, he wasn't kicking the ball that was about 2 inches in front of him.
So that one's on the inside corner from Thatch, 1-2. Thatch trying to close things out as a couple of saves this season for the Steamers. The hard-throwing left-hander on here in the ninth. Swung on, hit high on the first base line. Abbott moving back from first. It's into foul territory, and it drops. It's actually a fair ball. It dropped on the line. Lane tried to come, or pardon me, it was Jackson Hipp trying to slide in from right field to make the play. It went right off of his glove. A perfectly placed ball from Lakos. Runners at the corners now for the North with nobody out.
That'll bring the tying run up to the plate and Bryce Lane.
Lane, he struck out a couple of times tonight, but the tying run at the plate, you never know.
You never know, and nobody out here in the inning. So I guess that lefty-righty matchup for the North All-Stars has paid off thus far here in the ninth.
The third right-handed batter of the inning due up for the North against Tanner Thatch. As Lane grounds that one hard to second, could be two. Hilton flips to Barango for one on to first. It is, gets by Abbott on a throw in the dirt. A run comes home. It is now 6-4 South All-Stars. So Lane able to get a run home. The South unable to convert the double play. Maybe leaving some base runners out there with this defense here in the ninth.
Tying run still up at the plate. Corbin McLeod. Corbin's definitely more of a defensive catcher. He's very good behind the plate. Stops a lot of balls from going to the backstop.
The third catcher used tonight by the North. Warren Bailey started this thing off, and Lincoln Lubson came in for him before Corbin McLeod gets the nod here late in the game.
Yep, and Warren and Corbin have been sharing duties behind the plate for the Knights.
One of 5 total All-Stars from the catcher position, as time is called a bit late. Thatch still went through with his motion as the home plate umpire and McLeod get out of the way.
Corbin's hitting 167 this year, so obviously, just from the stats, you can tell that he's in this All-Star game because of his defense. But he has a big opportunity here to maybe even boast himself for All-Star game MVP.
He'll leave it up high for a ball. 2-0 now the count to McLeod. Once again, Thatch is his first inning of relief, the 9th different pitcher used by the South All-Stars tonight. Not sure we have a scenario for extra innings here in the All-Star game, but we do know that the bottom of the 9th will be played no matter what the score is. 2-0's across for a called strike. 2-1 now the count to McLeod. 7 hits tonight for the North, 9 for the South. A 6-4 lead for the South All-Stars. That one's grounded down the line, foul. Third base side, count will even up 2-2.
The game in the bottom of the 9th has any meaning. It's going to be 8-9-1 due up for the South.
Man, that'd be fun. We get a walk-off opportunity here at the All-Star game.
I don't think I haven't had a walk-off all season. Have you had one?
I've had one go against my team, against the Steamers. The Tarboro River Bandits had a walk-off walk, and that was back near the beginning of the year. As that one just misses, checked his swing, 3-2 the count. But yes, that was a real exciting game in Tarboro. That was early June, a 10-9 win for the River Bandits.
Wow.
It's never fun to call a walk-off against your own team,
No.
but walk-offs in general are usually pretty exciting. And you don't always see a walk-off walk.
No. Yeah, that's definitely pretty rare. Especially, I guess it's the only one in the PCL this season.
Yeah, if neither of us have seen one, if that's the only one we've seen between us, is that one's fouled away by McLeod. 3-2 the count.
McLeod got fooled on that breaking ball from Thatch. That pitch was about to hit him as he fouled it off.
McLeod represents the tying run here in the 9th for the North All-Stars from the Greenbrier Knights. The 3-2. Outside ball for a good at bat for Corbin McLeod as the tying run is now at first. It's funny, Hayden, this whole time it's been a lot more conversations, good questions being asked to all these guys, an assistant coach, and now all of a sudden this is heating up. This is a real ball game.
Yeah. This is fun.
This is the most important the stuff on the field has been all night. So a big chance now for Aiden Feather at the plate. The tying run over at first here in the 9th.
You can still tell that the guys are having fun, though, but I think it's getting real serious now. Aiden Feather, I saw he was live on Instagram earlier in the game.
From the dugout, from the field?
I think it was from the dugout. I didn't tune in, but I'll definitely have to ask him post-game.
That'd be cool. In an all-star game, you bring your phone out to the field.
Just have it in your back pocket.
Chopped over to third and foul. 0-2 now the count to Feather. He's flown out twice in 2 at-bats tonight.
Participated in the home run derby. Accounts for the only home run this season for the Redbirds. We had him on the broadcast last night. He just seems so happy to be here.
He's a great dude, great guy to talk to. One of the many great guys we've had on these broadcasts the last couple of nights. The 0-2 the count now to Feather. Out in front, fouls it down the third base line again. We had the home run derby last night at historic Hicks Field. Now the All-Star game here tonight. I know the last couple of years they've had those events on the same night. I'm glad they split it up this year.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot more fun to have a whole weekend of All-Star festivities.
Right, exactly, and it builds it up too, rather than just having one day, able to stay the night in Edenton. It's a fun time.
And we got to know, as you mentioned, a lot of these guys last night participated in that derby, so it's cool to see them again for back-to-back nights. The 0-2 pitch, he went around strike 3. A big strikeout for Tanner Thatch, his first of the game. And now Luke Waters up to the plate, the final hope for the North All-Stars to try and come back in this game, trailing by 2. Waters 0 for 2 in this game. He's flown out and reached on an error.
Would you steal second and third?
I'd certainly consider it because
Tying run,
Man,
would then
tying
be
run
in
at-
scoring position.
Yeah.
With Waters at the plate.
it's Bryce Lane down at second. Corbin McLeod at first, as that one's a strike, 1-1.
If they do decide to steal, I wouldn't be surprised if Boyd, who's behind the plate, decides to throw to second with McLeod, the catcher, over at first.
2-1 the count yet. I'm sure that's
Then
one of
that
the
might
scenarios.
prevent the North from even wanting to take another base.
But then on the flip side, you do not want to run yourself into the final out of the
No.
night. So it goes both ways, but I understand the point. A single probably doesn't score a tying run right now as that one catches the outside corner. 2-2. The South one strike away from winning the All-Star game here tonight. Remember, we'll play the bottom of the ninth no matter what. But the game itself could be decided. 2-2 the count. Swing and a miss. Tanner Thatch clinches a win for the South All-Stars. A 6-4 lead as we head to the bottom of the ninth. Thatch with a couple strikeouts in the inning. We'll head to the bottom half of the ninth here at historic Hicks Field with the South out ahead 6-4. Hello and welcome back to the 2022 Premier Collegiate League All-Star Game, where we've got our final half inning set to begin here in the bottom of the ninth. The South ahead 6-4, and they're up at the plate, so they've won the game, but we're making sure everyone can get those at-bats they deserve here in the All-Star Game. Jackson Hipp at the plate getting his second at-bat of the night. He'll take down low for a ball, 1-0.
Yeah, all these All-Stars are definitely deserved. Each team has at least 6 representatives from either Edenton, Tarboro, Suffolk, Norfolk, Greenbrier, and Virginia Beach. It just speaks to the talent level that we have in this league.
A lot of very deserving guys once again. And you know, with Edenton and Tarboro representing one whole team, there's going to be a lot more from those teams just to fill up the roster. And then
Right.
15 from Edenton, 14 from Tarboro, 10 from Greenbrier, 8 from Norfolk, and 6 apiece for Virginia Beach and Suffolk. As
Some
Hipp-
guys were saying how that's too many. Like, there's 30 guys on the All-Star team when there's only 26 on an actual baseball team. But it's like, what are you going to do? They're all so good. The guys are complaining that they're All-Star snubs.
You know everybody wants to be a part of this game here tonight as the 1-2 pitch to Hip is down low. But once again, it's just been so much fun this past couple of days. And look, we've got our former guest, Ashton Roy, down there coaching third base for the South. He told us he'd get down there by the end of it. Not sure what he's doing. He's going through a throwing motion at third base.
Maybe he wants to pitch.
Hip will chop that one over towards him. Not going to quite get there. It goes into the South dugout. So it's Kellen Davis still on the mound trying to wrap things up for the North from the Greenbrier Knights.
I wonder if this inning, having no meaning to the results of the ballgame, has anything to do with Ashton Roy coaching third.
I mean, he did say he was going to send everybody. So I wasn't quite sure if he was out there before this, but I know you don't want to lose a game because your third base coach is just sending everybody on. So Hip flies out. That'll bring Hunter McLean up to the plate. McLean once again his second at bat of the game. And it is good to get these extra at bats because some of these guys have only had one, including McLean. Some of the guys that came in.
Good to get those reps in a live game action. We've had a lot of rainouts this season. You and I didn't believe it when the former voice of the Steamers, Ray Dunn, told us that. First month was smooth sailing, and then the month of July has been pretty rough trying to get these games in.
Yeah, for the Steamers, we played every single scheduled game in June, which now seems like a crazy thought, considering we've had 7 games rained out in July already. One more week to go before the playoffs. That's what matters. As McLean sends that one down the right field line. That's going to drop in for a fair ball. And Hunter McLean adds his name to the hit list here in the All-Star game. A 1-out single in the 9th.
Bryce kind of looked a little lost out there and right.
Do you say that's not his normal position, being out there?
Yeah, he's usually over at third base, sometimes shortstop, but outfield.
He's doing whatever the team needs.
Yeah, he's a team guy.
Exactly. So now Hunter Cole up at the plate, representing the Steamers tonight, had a double in his only at-bat. He'll take outside, 1-0. Cole, one of 3 outfielders represented for the Steamers in the All-Star game. Jackson Hip and Nate Paulson, the other 2.
But yeah, back to the weather. It's just crazy how sometimes it's not even on the radar, and then it just floods the entire field, and there's nothing you can do about it.
And there's some North parks here. There's some nice parks here in this league with Historic Hicks Field, Tarboro Municipal Stadium, Lakewood Park, but none of them have been able to sustain the rain that we've seen. 2-1 the count as the press box says welcome to North Carolina. Not sure if that was caught, but Hayden and I both from the Northeast, so I guess it's a little bit of an adjustment for us.
Yeah. Everything's a bit of an adjustment. Just driving down the roads here. It's pitch black. If you turn your lights off on your car, you can't see a thing.
I know, it's a big contrast from Philadelphia. We go to school at Temple University. There's lights everywhere.
Just going to say that.
3-1 the count now to Cole with 1 out in the 9th. He'll take inside. Hunter Cole walks. He reaches for the second time tonight. The South maybe trying to make their win look a little bit bigger here in the 9th.
Would you consider the victory 6-4? Or if they tack on a run, are you saying that run counts?
Oh, we're counting it. It has to count. If we're having the at-bats, we're going all in.
Okay.
You know, Hayden, I'd bet a lot of money that the South will go on to win this game by the end of the 9th inning.
Yeah, okay.
Leaving you speechless.
It took me a minute to understand what you just said.
Ty Barongo up to the plate now for the South. They'll take a called strike at the knees, 0-1. Barongo flew out his only time up tonight. Came in for Chase Bruno over at shortstop, who started this game.
Must be sweating this if you're a betting man. You took it at 2.5.
What did Travis Hamrick told us before the
Hamrick
broadcast
said
tonight.
12.5.
12.5 was the over-under, so we're at 10 runs in this game. That one's inside. A pretty good line with some guys out on base. A lot of runners stranded for the North as well. We might have hit that number if they had a couple big hits.
Yeah, they left in the 7th inning. They left 2 runners in scoring position and then left the bases loaded in the 8th. So I guess Travis is sweating that out. If he said he was taking the over.
He did say that too, and won the count out of Barango, who has a chance to try and break Travis Hamrick's wallet. Now that I think about it, is sports betting legal in North Carolina? I don't believe so.
Fox is telling us now.
Again, we have it in New Jersey and Pennsylvania, but that's hit high in the air by Barango. Deep center field. Moving back is Scipio. He'll make the catch right at the wall for a long out number 2. Man, Barango might have thought he was the second River Bandit to go deep tonight.
And Travis Hamrick was about to jump out of his seat.
Would have put them
it
over.
at the over.
Yep. Jeremiah Boyd up to the plate now for the South with 2 outs here in the 9th.
The catcher for Presbyterian, Jeremiah Boyd.
Two runners on for Boyd with 2 outs in the 9th. He's ahead in the count 1-0 against Kellen Davis. Boyd still looking to try and reach for the first time tonight. He's got Hunter McLean down at second, Hunter Cole at first. Couple of Hunters on the bases. Can Jeremiah bring them home? Davis working from the stretch here, representing the Greenbrier Knights with a 1-1 count. The pitch to Boyd. Inside, nearly got away from McLeod. He keeps it right there. Even on a pitch he couldn't handle, he kept it right at his feet. Hayden, you mentioned time and time again how good of a defensive catcher McLeod is.
And he is catching his teammate, Kellen Davis. They both represent Greenbrier. You don't see that too often in the All-Star game. We have seen a lot here tonight with just 2 teams representing the South and 4 representing the North.
Boyd sends that one high in the air out to left center field. Moving back is Scipio. He's under it, and he'll make the catch to wrap up the game. The South All-Stars win it tonight here at historic Hicks Field, 6-4. A fun night for the 6 teams in the PCL, a fun night on the broadcast. Hayden, thank you so much for coming on tonight, man.
Thank you, Luke. This whole weekend was awesome.
A lot of fun. Last night with the Home Run Derby, tonight with the All-Star game. It was an honor to call here representing the Edenton Steamers and now the league as a whole tonight. I'm Luke Meli. It was a great honor being the voice of the Steamers, now the voice of the entire league for one night. Hayden, that title will go back to you after tonight. But a lot of fun here for these 6 teams. Once again, the South wins it 6-4. Thank you so much to everyone joining us tonight. It was a lot of fun. And once again, thank you to over 100 people who were tuned in for most of the broadcast. So we appreciate it. For the final time, the South wins it 6-4 here at historic Hicks Field. We'll sign off as the regular season hits the stretch run coming up.